gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm gonna show the whole world why I was the unscripted, uncensored, loose cannon of commentary!
I'm back, baby.
Broadcasting from Manchester in the United Kingdom, this is the Arun Mehta Show. 30th of September, 1st of October, 2017, you're listening to the Arun Mehta Show. This is a lovely weekend, I have to say, even though it's pretty miserable outside, to be honest with you. So, hey, well, you can't have everything, but I have to say, I feel like I do have everything right now, you know. We are on the eve of the Hey Arnold anniversary show, and it's going to be an absolutely amazing show, I have to say. We have just sorted out the questions, and Craig Butler got them a couple of days ago, and he's currently rooting through them, and so hopefully he's going to have some really good answers to come up with you, and so no doubt we'll have some good stuff in the show. Actually, I noticed one of my guests is just that's amazing news. So anyway, just before we begin with all of this, I always keep forgetting to do this, and so I think I might as well just bring it up now before we get into it, and that is that if you're going to be in Britain and if you're going to be in the UK, we are on the Never Lose Hope tour soon, and so if you want to join us for there, it's the first meet is going to be the 27th and the 28th of October, and it's going to be at the Excel Centre in London, and if you want to get tickets there, get them for the Friday or the Saturday priority. Tickets information is actually in the event, so I definitely ask you to check out that. If you're going to be in Manchester, you want to go to Stockport County Football Club. We're going to be at the Stockport Unleashed tour for a meet-up tour there. All of them, by the way, are at 12 between 1, and so we'll just do whatever we want to do, and maybe get some lunch maybe afterwards. Who knows? Depending on how much time pending. And also one thing just to say about Stockport County: if you're going to be getting tickets there, make sure that you're at home to sign for them, because if you don't, you'll have to end up going to the post office to go sign for the tickets. So just if you're going to be on there as well, and also there might be a possibility of paying on the door. But if we don't get into the event, what we'll do is we'll host it outside, and we'll try and find something to do outside Stockport County Football Club, depending on what's going to happen there. And also, we're going to the last leg of the tour. We're going to be at the MCM Birmingham, so MCM Birmingham Comic Con. So if you want to be down there at November 18th, so you want to check us out, that'll be the week before Hey Arnold the Jungle Movie actually comes out, from my understanding. So that's going to be a pretty big meetup if we do that. So it's going to be pretty big. But anyway, I have held off my guests for far too long. These are the people joining us for the Hey Arnold Fan Day. So joining us today is Stephen.
Hello.
Spectrum Bunny. Skylar.
Hey.
Matt.
Hello.
And Kyle Vance and he is one of the originators of the Operation Ruthless and also the petition as well. So he's a massive guest on our show, I have to say. So
thanks for having me, Arun.
Hey, thanks for everything you've done. It's like, it's, I've been, when I first started doing this show, when I started doing, first of all, I started off doing like boxing and pro wrestling. And I was then after that I moved over to politics, to the happiness and anger of I guess some people who listen to my show. And then about 2000, things were going very well in my life at the time. And about 2009, I got back into Hey Arnold again after a very long absence from the show. And it was at that time I learned that apparently I had watched every single episode of the show, but I had not watched 2 episodes, and that was the Journal Part 1 and Journal Part 2. And when I watched that, I'll be honest with everybody, when I watched those 2 episodes, when I got to the end of Arnold going up to the stoop and telling his grandpa had a map, I got off my couch and yelled, "That's bullshit!"
I think we all felt the same way.
Yeah, so that's how I hung up with Hey Arnold, Save the Jungle movie campaign. And originally I joined it just to kind of like as more as a kind of a therapy kind of thing, kind of something kind of therapeutic.
Right.
I can like react to everybody like that. And then I just said to myself, well, you know what? I'm just going to message Craig Bartlett over Facebook and just say to him, do you want to, do an interview? Because I'm sure all the Hey Arnold fans would love it. And so that's how we ended up with all the Hey Arnold anniversary show on a yearly basis. And if there wouldn't be Craig Bartlett on the show, and I wouldn't be interviewing constantly without you guys, and also definitely without Operation Ruthless and without yourself, Kyle. So, thanks for all the hard work that you've done. And I was more than happy to put my signature on that petition when it first went in. So
it's been a long ride. I actually wasn't part of the. Sorry about my cat.
Cat.
I wasn't part of the team originally, but I came on after the movement had started back in 2011, about 2 years later, and our group had really taken over the spreading the word of the show and just the petition in general, and I had been with it ever since. So I don't know what was more exciting, just watching the signatures build up over the years, or actually physically going and printing it and sending it off to Nickelodeon.
Wow.
You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to actually get a copy of that petition and send a big, huge box myself to Nickelodeon in the UK. Well, I never got the chance to do it, and plus I didn't have much money at the time, so unfortunately I couldn't do it.
It cost a crazy amount to mail it. I think it was over $200 to almost $300 because it was crazy.
Wow.
You're joking? To mail all that? Oh my god! So
We actually took donations from different fans, and they happily donated because we all
that's
worked
awesome.
together for years
Of course.
yeah.
to try and get it to be real.
You know what amazes me now is that you can now mail this stuff, for far cheaper.
Right.
A couple of if the Hey Arnold position was done today, you'd go on a price comparison website and you'd go through all the delivery companies and you'd find out what the cheapest brand is. And I reckon you probably could have sent it for like $40-$50. It's like, it's amazing now how things have changed. But hey, well, at least we got it sent, and I'm sure it's reaped the rewards of having Hey Arnold the Jungle movie. So no doubt that was a great thing, and it's just so. I think again, I don't want to drive the show. I mean, it's today. Hey Arnold, the Hey Arnold Fan Day is about you guys, the fans. So I think one of the things I'd like to do is right now is look through the Hey Arnold Save the Jungle movie. This is one of the fan pages. I mean, I know there's a lot of fan pages, including one that I run as well called Save the Jungle Movie UK. But I thought we'd go through some of the what some of the Hey Arnold fans are talking about, and maybe we could react to that a little bit. So. Let's have a look at some of the stuff that we've got. Okay, so we're starting off on not probably a very good note, I don't think, I guess for this Hey Arnold Fan Day, and I don't know really, like, do I, do I don't know, it's like, do I really want to give Charles Osborne time on this? Really?
No.
Especially
this article is bad and they should feel bad.
Yeah, especially when there's a PlayStation 2 advert playing in the background, but it's just, I don't know. Like for me, like I've already said my piece on this already, and that is that it's poorly worded. It's it's not that well defined, in my opinion. His argument seems to be that it wasn't made 15 years ago, so therefore it's there's no point making it now, which is not very good, in my opinion.
Do you not understand the concept of a cliffhanger?
Yes.
No.
People want answers, my dude.
I know. But here's the thing: is like he says. Here's the bit that apparently people were. Sorry, go on.
I don't think he realizes it. It's not like everybody expected it to be real. Look at how long we had been fighting for years just as a fandom to get it to.
Yeah. So.
Wanted it to happen for years, and they always turned him down.
Oh.
So
there's gonna be someone
They've
negative.
been here for. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, go on. Okay, well, so I want to read some of the comments. I think the comments are actually better than the article, to be honest. With you. So no respect for an opinion who can't do research. Arnold lives in a border home. Yeah, a border home.
Border home.
Oh my god.
It's like
Same.
I'm trying to think. What's a border home? It's like, you know, what, a home that like on the border of America, or you know, maybe he's a flat earther and he thinks that Arnold's house is like on the edge of the earth. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, I love this bit. He's yet to find out what happened to his mom and dad on the first season finale, The Journal, which aired in 2002. Like, no.
Okay. What?
Yeah, it's
Clearly, there wasn't an episode that explained that before.
Yeah. Tell you what, I think I have a clip somewhere that actually describes this. I think in pretty good detail. I need to sort out my soundboard really because I don't know where. It's not that one. It's not that one. Where's it gone? Oh, here it is.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
I think that's the best way to describe this article, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wendy says again, I think I'd be more worried if the original creator was not involved with this. Yeah, I think we'd be all in agreement with this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I am so happy
I
that
feel
Craig
that way
is.
about any of the reboots they're going to do for Nickelodeon.
Well, I mean, we've also happened with Power of Four.
Right.
Yeah, it's and also the Powerpuff Girls reboot in general, really. You know, that was a shit show.
Yes. The creator wasn't involved with that. He didn't even give the blessing for the reboot. They just did whatever they wanted.
No. Yeah, and it was an absolute disaster. And hopefully, I mean, we said this joke last week on the show, but hopefully Bliss will die on her way back to her home planet.
Oh my god.
No, don't take it out on Bliss. It's not her fault. Her creators are bad.
Yeah. You know what I would have... I said this last week on the show as well. I don't know if anyone agrees with this, but I think Bliss would have been far better written if she was a girl from another dimension, as a set of set of Powerpuff Girls. And so she kind of fell into their dimension, and now she wants to get back.
Fund it.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at some Rick and Morty jokes. You know, like they said, "Oh, does that mean there's like a council of Powerpuff Girls?" It's like, no. We're not that show. That would be pretty awesome. Yeah, there's my comment there. His argument that it should have been done 15 years ago is pretty weak. Plus, it makes no mention of Craig Barlow wanted to do this movie. I trust Craig's judgment far more than this guy. So,
Oh, me too.
Yes, definitely.
Tell you what, this comment I actually like because this guy's called Preston, and pretty much unless you're living under a rock, you know that's. Actually, I've said this before as well. You know, for me, the Jungle movie is not going to be. It's not going to be a movie. It's going to be a football match. Seriously, it's going to be. Yeah. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're gonna feel emotions. Yes. We're gonna yell at the TV. It's like it's a once in a thing generation, and as far as I'm concerned, it's not gonna be. You know, this isn't gonna be a movie. I'm gonna be sat here, you know, probably on the edge of my seat with my football scarf on, saying, you know, come on, Preston, in full Grandma Gertie style. So you know, for me, this isn't a Jungle movie. This is Preston North End at Wembley Stadium, and I should know because I've actually been to Preston North End at Wembley Stadium. So there you go. So anyway, Preston Casey says this article can shove it. So yeah, come on, okay, Preston Casey, if you're out there, I want you to change your last name to North End, and then that'll just make my day. Nestle Hoek says, "Hey Arnold, the Jungle movie is a terrible idea because it might not live up to the expectations in the article saying, which is stupid and simply assuming the worst. Making something negative doesn't need to be worth ignoring, in my opinion." Which, yeah, I think the fact that we're reading the comments rather than the actual article itself, I think just shows, you know, where we are. So.
Well,
I read through it myself the day it came out, and I facepalmed too much because it was poorly written, and it felt like nothing but opinion. Huh.
Yeah.
It is an opinion.
I mean, in a way, everyone's gonna have some expectation broken, but Craig said this movie's supposed to be, you know, fan service heaven. Everyone's gonna get something.
Yeah,
right.
It makes me wonder though, because it's. I mean, I asked interestingly enough to Justin Shankaro. You know, it's like, do you think the Hey Arnold fans have a realistic expectation of what the Jungle movie is? And he agreed that they think they do. So I think there's part of us that kind of knows what we're going to be in for. But I think at the same time, the one thing I think we're all going to have to keep in mind is that this is going to be the movie that, you know, needs to up the ante and needs to be,
Yeah,
needs to
definitely.
turn the volume all the way up, really. And I mean, I'm not saying to the point where it's like all the characters are gonna be like scarred for life and they'll never live this down. It's like I'm just saying to the point where it's gonna be this event that happened, and
Yeah, there's got to be a lot of like action and adventure, doesn't there, in this?
Yeah, definitely.
It's not going to be like the original series, in the Hillwood. It's going to have to up the ante and be a lot more exciting. It's gonna do pretty good, I think.
Well, I think it's just going to be it is going to be this epic tale of and also possibly it's always been billed as the story that's going to kind of tie all the strings together. So it's
Finally get closure.
I love angst, and I'm ready for my kids to suffer.
So I want to see if I can actually point all this out. Actually, yeah. Look at all this searing anger, including myself. This is just the anger of this article.
Oh no!
Right, there's all that.
Yeah.
I feel super bad. I never actually got to sign the petition because I came into the fandom like at the tail end of when the petition.
Same here.
How do I explain it? It was between the petition and the movie finally being greenlit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people were late to it, and because you won't believe the amount of times I go down Twitter and look at the Jungle Movie hashtag, and it's like, "Hey, Arnold's coming back! Oh my God!" He's like, "When did this happen?" It's like 2 years ago.
We are all living under rocks. It's fine.
Well, I still think there's some Hey Arnold fans that are still in disbelief that Hey Arnold Hey Arnold, Nickelodeon actually listened. And it's because isn't it strange? Put your mind back to 2011, right? And who was the cartoon? Who was the channel on top at the time?
The Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network. And look where we are now.
Really?
Yeah, it was and so Cartoon Network was on top at the time. And now,
of course, that was when a bunch of new shows started coming out.
Indeed, and,
was that like when Adventure Time came out?
I think it was, yeah, and also regular show and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and Steven Universe I think came out a little bit later after that as well.
Gosh, no, I remember because that was my freshman year of high school, and I was pumped about all those shows.
Yeah.
And fast forward 7 years, and look where we are now. It's like we've got everyone yelling to the sky about Rocko's Modern Life, Static Shock, Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie, another Invader Zim film, and this kind of celebration of of Nickelodeon finding its way again. Yeah. Which let me keep this in mind. I don't cheerlead for a particular channel. Disney. I like Disney. I like Cartoon Network. I like Nickelodeon. Yeah. I even love the children's channel. I don't know if anyone remembers that from back in the day. It was that was a thing as well. But I cheerlead for all these animation places and all the shows that they put on. But when they do stuff wrong, we have to point it out. It's because if you don't, then you don't get, it's, I know I criticized Nickelodeon a lot, back in the day, before, we found out that the Jungle Movie's coming out, and then, some people have been saying, like, I've been, on the apology tour ever since, and it's like, no, it's because I reward good behavior. It's like, if Nickelodeon do something right, you get praise. If you do something wrong, you get criticism. It's like, it's like anything in life.
Yeah, exactly.
You are too much, Aaron.
I know. So we'll wrap up on the. Oh yeah, somebody come up with his worst episode. It's not really an episode; it's an article. But someone said worst episode ever. So shall we play the video to?
Worst article ever.
What matters is that the fans of the show liked it.
Last night's Itsy and Scratchy was, without a doubt, the worst episode ever.
Okay, I think we'll.
Thank you, comic book guy.
Thank you, comic book guy. And let's have a look at some of the other ones. I'm trying to point out some of the ones that Bunny says admin here, so keep free from cursing. Okay, then that's. But this person had not helped us in the least. Think that they had room to talk. Get out, please. Okay then.
Wow.
What other ones are there? There was another one which was getting quite a lot of likes, but. Whoever wrote this, get bent. And well,
Good reaction.
yeah, I think that was it. So anyway, let's move on to some of the other stuff. Friday the 13th is coming up this October. So who knows? We might get Friday the 13th as a Hey Arnold episode on.
That means it's
Friday
Eugene's
the-
birthday.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Jennifer's asking, is anyone going to NYCC? Oh, is anyone going to NYCC here?
No.
I live
I
in
wish.
yeah.
I know it's not far from me, but I don't have a car, so.
Yeah, you know what? When they announced that, I mean, I didn't want to go to NYCC because I didn't want to, I recently bought a house. I didn't want to put. I really want to be trying to be careful with money at the moment. But if I knew that that was happening, I would have had a business reason, a family reason, and a recreational reason to go to New York City that weekend. And because I only had 2 of the 3, I couldn't justify it, and now I could. And then when I went to NYCC's website, all the tickets were sold out. And it was just,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
So I tried to get. So what I did was I tried to get a media visa. I was trying to get if I could get a media visa. In order to do that, you have to jump all through the hoops through NYCC's media thing, and then you have to go to the new U.S. Embassy in order to go to an interview. Pay $160 to go through the media visa process, and then finally get the visa, and then go off. And it would have been, mind you, I'll safely say this: there's a political convention currently going on in Manchester at the moment, and for those of you wondering why I'm rather doing this and not being here, let me safely say this: getting a media ticket for them is about £775. So think about this, right? I could have
That's
gone.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I could have gone to New York City, got a media visa, got a flight, got a hotel, and came back for cheaper than actually traveling about half an hour down the road.
That's crazy.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys have to forgive me, everybody. I'm trying my best to keep everyone on the screen, but Google Hangouts has just decided that it's only picking certain people to preview. So. I'll have to. You'll have to let me know when you're going to go on a long rant, and then I'll be able to put you up on the screen. So.
Okay.
They did a caption competition for this. I couldn't really think of anything, and I'm the guy who's coming up I'm the guy who's on Craig Bartlett's Facebook page, is making making hilarious comments and stuff. So you see the Instagram post Craig did with. Arnold, Helga, Gerald, and Phoebe all on the boat, and I just basically, I basically just started singing "Row, row, row your boat." It's like it's just I'm stupid like that.
Everyone has collectively decided that Eugene fell off the boat, but he's fine.
Yeah.
I think Eugene getting hurt and during his escapade in the jungle, I think is going to be on the bingo card. I think so. How badly injured he gets. Yeah.
For some reason, I see him being constricted by a snake.
Oh no!
I can see
Leave him alone.
I can see him getting bitten by the snake, to be honest with you, but
Okay. Several snakes.
I hate snakes. Okay, so yeah, by the way,
McCaffrey's birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, happy birthday to Annie McCaffrey this week. She's another year older, and still going strong. So happy birthday, and I hope she had a great birthday as well. I messaged her on Facebook before saying happy birthday, so she was pretty happy with that. And
that's cute.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh yeah, who's into those Arnold? Who's into those Arnold and Helga Funko Pops?
Oh, I really want the Funko Pops. They're super cute.
I don't know. It's like I mean, at the moment, as you can see behind me, I've only got a blank wall. I don't have any shelves. So if I did buy them, I have no place to put them. So
oops.
No, I'm not. Oh yeah, by the way, we should have talked about this actually. I don't know if everyone's like rushing out to get those plush dolls now because Toys R Us is going out of business. Well, not going out of business, but filing for bankruptcy.
I want them.
Well, from what I know, they're not closing any of the stores. They're doing it to lower some debt, I guess.
They're just filing for bankruptcy, as far as I know. But everybody wants to go to Toys R Us for the plushies.
Yeah, but that's sad. It's like so wasn't. How many of us have been to Toys R Us and actually got something that we remember from our childhood pretty well? It's like I still got the Super Nintendo downstairs. That's how it's like that's how memorable Toys R Us is to me. And when I saw that what was happening, it was it was crazy, you know. So yeah, let's move on to. Oh yeah, they did a video tribute. Do you want to? I guess we could do a reaction video. Do you want to do it?
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
here
sure.
we go. This is Egyptian music.
Something like that. It's got a very Middle Eastern flair.
Yeah. This reminds me of something. There's actually a fan fiction out there called "Shadow Around His Heart," and I think
I heard of that one.
Yeah, it came up with the theory that apparently the Green Eye people are Egyptian rather than Aztec or something like that, or Mayan. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah. I don't know.
Never know.
I love the fan art. The fan art's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
That's I think that's Limey 404. I think.
Please don't make me cry on air.
Well, I'm pretty emotional myself, actually, and I didn't think I'd be doing this. So. Shout out to Moni, by the way. She's
Oh, I love Moni.
Oh yes.
yeah,
Moni's art is
MikoArthouse.tumblr.com. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I should have done all my things. Facebook is facebook.com/Arrowmeta Show. Twitter is @Arrowmeta Show. Arrowmeta.tumblr.com and also youtube.com/Arrowmeta Show as well. But listen to my show on iTunes, Player FM, Stitcher, and all those great places. You know, a lot of people think this was actually an official poster.
Yeah,
I thought it was an official poster.
Yeah.
That's some really bomb fan art then.
Pretty good.
Oh, this is Jaminica, I think her name is, and yeah, she did this. This was like the original one that stayed on the Hey Arnold Wikia for a good long while.
Yeah,
and, yeah, until
everybody thought it was official for years.
Oh, who did that one? I can't remember. I think that was Jaminica again. I think actually. She did the. Actually, that's the thing. I mean, Craig Bartlett's already said in one of my interviews that apparently Arnold's not going to discover that Arnold, Helga was Cecil in the Jungle movie.
Yeah,
so
everybody wants that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if he's actually gonna. I wonder because he has done some rewrites to it. So I wonder if that's gonna play on.
I think it'd be a cool little nod since a lot of people want that to happen, but I don't think it's needed. So.
It might change the dynamic in the story, which he probably wants to tell. So maybe he probably wouldn't risk it.
Right.
Probably wouldn't do it.
He did about 7 rewrites to the script.
Oh yeah, there's there was at I mean, I don't know how many rewrites he's done since those 7. So because he said he had to start over if he ever got the green light for it. So who knows where that start over was? But yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's Steve Lowett's storyboarding there, and I mean this is just a. I wonder what LaSombra's role in all this is going to be, because I am still we have to hear anything from him. So maybe in the upcoming trailer at NYCC, probably going to hear more about it. But right now it's the two things at the forefront at the moment. When my wire gets attached to my chair, I think the big two at the moment is going to be how Arnold and Helga get together in this, and I think what happens to to Arnold's parents, and I think in all of that, I think La Sombra sort of unfortunately become kind of the third wheel in all of this, which
Right.
Which isn't a great place for
anything. A good time for it to really have him be out there would be this trailer that's going to be on the 6th. I mean, he's supposed to be a main protagonist in the movies. So.
Antagonist, you mean? Yeah, but it's, I just wonder how he's going to how he's going to play out in all of this, and how much of an effect, because he's going to have to. I mean, to be a memorable villain, he's going to have to really, toss Arnold around. It's like whether that's. I mean,
good villains are hard to come by these days.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I would agree with that. But yeah, who knows? That's it. So. I don't know. Are we still in the feeling of this is going to be the final chapter? I mean, do any of us think that Nickelodeon's going to turn around and say, we want more Hey Arnold after the Jungle movie?
I've wrestled with that back and forth for years. It's hard because I could see them going either way. I could see them saying, you know what, this is what we signed on for. Regardless of how it was received, that's it. But they could also see how much the fans love it and how much work Craig put into it, and think, hey, let's bring it back for a new audience and see how they feel.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
I would be really sad if we didn't at least get like comic books.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because Boom Studios is doing a couple of Nickelodeon comics, and I would love to see a Hey Arnold one. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you who probably used to follow me on DeviantArt, so I was doing a project myself, and unfortunately, it's just the lapse of time and the amount of time that's gone into it just never came to pass, really, and it's just kind of stayed in my head the entire time. So, maybe one day I might. I'll tell you what, one thing I might do is, if I get the time to do it, I might do a little video before the Jungle movie comes out, and so I can tell my version of the Jungle movie, and then we can see the Jungle movie and see how it compares. Mine probably sucks. So, compared to what we're going to get. So, mine basically just has like it teams up Arnold with a mercenary, and he just goes through the jungle, just being a badass. So, which I thought would be fun. It's like, I'm into like Gears of War and Bulletstorm and stuff like that. So, I'll tell you what. Here's a little thing I'd like to see Hey Arnold fans do. Listen to the original soundtrack of Bulletstorm on YouTube, and put scenes in your head of the Jungle movie and see which ones you come up with. That'd be kind of fun. So yeah. Well, yeah, that's that little trailer put together by one of our fans. So who was that, by the way? That was Diego Blasio Gleason. So. Okay, thanks for doing that. Hopefully, it won't get copyright claimed on YouTube. So
yeah.
Okay, this is a Jack Vale put this video up together. This is let's have a look at this one. I think it's cropping the video. I think, and I don't know if I can. That's out of context a little bit. So let me see if I can fix this. Give me 1 second.
Out of context, Hey Arnold.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I think Hey Arnold's been. I think You Make My Girlhood Tremble, I think, is the most out of context thing I think we've seen.
Oh my god.
So let me see if I can. Let me see if I can fix this. It's doing this stupid thing where so while I fix this, I mean, so let's say Arnold fans are. I mean, are you still in this kind of like state of surrealness at the moment for the Jungle movie?
Yes and no. I was for the longest time, and now that we're almost a month out, I think it finally set in.
Wow. Yeah, from the guy who started the petition.
Right.
Hey, from the guy who's interviewed Craig Bartlett's number of occasions, you can imagine how I'm feeling right about now.
Yeah, God,
you are so lucky, man.
Yeah, you got to talk to him.
Definitely.
I wish that was me.
To be honest with you, I just, I messaged him, and I kind of treated him like, every other guest, and we've been friends now for I think a good long while, and he's a really great guy. And I never expected this to kind of explode the way it was. I thought we were just going to be doing Hey Arnold anniversary shows until the end of time. And it's all like, well, mind you, I'm already grey-haired already, so I can't really say grey-haired and wrinkled. But yeah, that's.
I almost died when he friend requested me on Facebook. That was the best day of my life.
He's a nice guy, you know. It's like that's the great thing about him, and I hope he stays that way, you know. Through.
Yeah, he seems so genuine.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. That's a good point. It's like Hey Arnold is a fun show, but also it's kind of a realistic show at the same time.
Oh yeah. Hey Arnold went in hard.
A chronic drug addict.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was the one thing that. I'll tell you what, I didn't.
Miriam.
Yeah, I didn't actually know what was wrong with Miriam until a lot later on in life. It's like, you know, that just went right.
I don't think. Yeah, it kind of goes over your head when you're a kid, doesn't it?
Oh, it did.
Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go over my head.
Yeah. Okay. Let me. So we always tell this. It's very to read out the title for everyone who's listening on the podcast. She spends her time making smoothies or daiquiris and slurs of speech. And yeah, I remember when someone said to me, "Oh, yeah, that Tabasco sauce is supposed to cover up the smell of being drunk," something like that. So I remember.
Tabasco sauce goes in a Bloody Mary. That's all I know.
Yeah. That's always interesting about that. It's like, you notice that Rhonda is loaded. I mean, she wasn't loaded until later on in the show, until, you know, they actually expanded her character. But, you know, she still goes to a public school.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she go to a fancy private school? That's always baffled me.
Yeah. I guess it's a cost-cutting exercise, I guess. You know, send her to the school.
Right.
Yeah.
Watch her go study for a year in Paris in, like, 7th grade.
Yeah, I think. Well, mind you, if I had to live in Arnold's boarding house, I think I probably wouldn't stop complaining either. So I'm sure there'd always be something to complain about. Yeah. Well, only for one episode, and then after that he got a job, and apparently they're living well. Mm-hmm. So the one thing I'd be interested in, if they did do a season 6, they have to address Lila's mom.
I think so.
Please.
Yeah.
I want Lila to be her own character.
I don't know. What's everyone's verdict on Lila's mom at the moment? Because Craig Bartlett reckons that she's passed away.
I had always thought she was passed away, and that's why the dad didn't talk about her much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I've always wrestled with the idea of her being dead or divorced.
Yeah.
But if Craig thinks she's dead, I don't want to go against the creator.
Well, he hasn't written anything yet, so we don't know. But one thing I'd be interested to see, I came up with like an episode for when they were doing like the season 6 fan comic project. One episode I came up with was Mr. Sawyer's girlfriend. And so what would happen is that Lila's dad would get a girlfriend, and Lila would be very uncomfortable with it. And then it would basically conclude with them sat down, basically saying, "Look, you know, I know your mother's still special to me, but you know, I need to move on, and you know, we both need to move on, and you know, she'll still be with us the whole time. You know, kind of go in that kind of direction. I mean, obviously,
that would line up with the original spirit of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I sometimes wonder if it would have been too similar to. Do you remember there was an episode in Disney's Dog when Patty was had her mum passed away, and yeah, I don't know if it would have been too similar to that. So I mean, that's so in a way. I mean, it's not a. I can't really say it's an original story, you know, by saying that. So I don't know.
Moving on stories, I don't think are original, but everybody has a different story to tell. So
yeah. Well, to be fair, Harold bullied everyone else. He was the one-dimensional bully until Arnold kind of came into his life.
Right. Until Arnold showed me my sensitive side.
Yeah.
Poor baby.
That's actually interesting, because you actually got to see how bad PS 118 actually is as a school, because it is. So, you know, it's in a flooded area. It's in a flooded plain. You know, it's underfunded. It's the only thing that's keeping it going is the teachers themselves.
The teachers went on a strike because the principal was such a stiff for supplies.
Yeah.
They couldn't get chalk.
Mind you, it makes me.
I wonder how many kids are even in this school if you only need one teacher for every grade.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, it's like it makes me wonder that you know, you have the teachers like on one level, and you have the principal on the other level, and then on the other level you've got like the governorship of the school. It's like, you know, woof, kind of like, yeah. So I don't know, maybe Principal Watts wasn't in the position to do what he did at the time. I don't know. It's like
Maybe.
It'd be interesting to see a bit more into the politics of PS 118. Maybe they might expand on that in season 6. You know, so
please.
Oh, there's a tutor for 13-year-olds.
Torvald.
Oh, that was Torvald, wasn't it? Actually, no, Harold was held back a couple of years, wasn't he?
But Torvald was the one he tutored.
Yeah, and but Harold also because he's had his bar mitzvah, so he would have been.
He's almost 14.
Yeah. So. Does he?
Same.
Well, he's been wearing a tiny hat since his baby because his parents gave it to him. Oh yeah, that's. I wouldn't call that. I wouldn't necessarily call that an entirely abandonment issues. He covers the bald spot in the middle of his head. That's the reason he wears it.
Yeah, fashion statement.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. I just I don't believe everything that's in this one really. So, yeah, we'll move on. Oh yeah, anyone dressing up as Hey Arnold characters this Halloween?
I should wear my Mr. Simmons cosplay. I didn't even think of that.
You have Mr. Simmons cosplay?
Yes, I do. Hold on a second. I'm going to grab my sweater.
Tell you what, okay, while you're doing that, so we'll wait for the Mr. Simmons cosplay. I'll tell you what, I should have changed the show a little bit around because I didn't get the chance to. Here we go.
Oh, hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello.
I got this sweater on Amazon, and it's Mr. Simmons colored.
Oh,
that
wow.
is pretty cool.
Good find. Good find.
Craig has liked a few of my cosplay pictures, so that was pretty great.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So let's. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that actually when you finally get it all into gear. So that's. I don't know if you can actually see. I can't expand this view.
Yeah, I can just.
Yeah, make it up.
It looks like it's from school play.
Yeah.
Something.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. I mean, I don't know. It's like I definitely agree that still a better love story than Twilight. I think anything's a better love story than Twilight.
Definitely.
Oh please.
Yeah.
Don't insult Arnold and Helga like that.
You know mantises. You know when they mate, the female eats the male. That's a better love story than Twilight.
Right.
Oh my god.
True.
Yeah. So, and also on top of that, have you seen that image where Arnold is fantasizing about Lila and he's kissing Gerald's hand? That's a better love story than Twilight.
Yes.
Shipping Arnold and Gerald's hand is a way better story than Twilight. And, I'd really hate to see the Rule 34 for that, I must say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go into that?
No, but I'd really hate to see that.
Definitely not.
If Hey Arnold was Dominican 2.0. Okay, what's this?
Mami. Ya yo no tengo tranquilidad. Tú eres mi tormenta.
What's going on here? I'm Harold right now. I don't understand what I'm saying. I mean, I know this is 24 Hours to Live, and I know he's this is the I'm Crazy bit, and but he's just put Dominican music over it. Okay. Do you want to continue with this?
Well, if you want to.
I don't particularly want to because it's a bit predictable.
Right. Enough.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, these are some images of I'm Crazy there as well. And this is the 6th grade
Tony
girls.
and Maria.
Yeah. Maria, get over here.
Why don't you come over here?
I'm thousands of miles away in England. I can't come over there.
Sorry.
This is Mellie. This is a pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
They've done a lot of the characters. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Okay, like
I love Sid.
and retweet. There we go.
That is really. I love Sid.
Yeah, and that's the first time I've probably ever liked and retweet something here on the Arrow Meta Show. Well, at least when you can see it. So there you go. Oh yeah, everyone's asking for their favorite on National Poetry Day. Favorite Helga Pataki poem. So see if there's Molina's already done the
Oh my god, that GIF.
Yeah.
You made me tremble.
Oh my gosh, no! What was the poem she wrote in what was it? Phoebe Cheats.
Yeah, that was that one. It was.
I love that one.
Yeah. Oh, actually, yeah, there was I saw the YouTube video for that one. Actually, I think they actually put it up on the Nixplat YouTube channel. With that one. So.
She wrote that one when she was half asleep, I think.
Mm-hmm. There's this one, Helga for Love of Arnold, and there's the girlhood one. And all the days of my week, I write the name I do not speak. The boy with the corn. Ah, that's the one. The boy with the cornflowered hair. My love and my despair. That's the one that she was. That's the one you were talking about from Phoebe Cheats.
What's that one? It's the one that Mr. Simmons read to the class, but he said he couldn't tell who wrote it because it was anonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah, the water fountain one. That was it.
Okay, then I didn't know it was that one. But
that's a cute one.
Cool.
I love that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I hope everyone got a kick out of that.
Oh my.
Yeah. How do we feel about Arnold's Christmas? Because it was that was an emotional roller coaster to say the least. And also on top of that,
kind of makes me tear up watching it now.
I cried.
Yeah, I saw it last year for the first time actually, and I came pretty close to getting tears in my eyes.
Admit it, you cried.
Yeah.
There was a bit in Craig Bartlett's in his interview. He said that apparently the when they were in the booth doing the voice acting for it, apparently it was getting very emotional in there because they were talking to each other in Vietnamese. And you could hear like the back and forth between the two, and apparently it was enough to get everyone teary-eyed in the photo booth. So yeah, it's like, you know, if you're getting that in when you're acting it, it's like that's a good sign.
Definitely.
Yeah, during the SDCC panel, I think Franny was talking about getting a little bit emotional during it or something like that.
Aww.
Well, she has to do Merry Christmas. She has to do the Merry Christmas Arnold line, and I can imagine she was pretty emotional doing that.
Yeah, that was such a sweet ending. I love that ending.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's just get this girl some shoes though. She's standing out in sub-zero temperatures in just her socks.
Yeah. Well, there was Uriel Manx. He did a van art of Arnold giving her back her shoes. That was nice. Yeah. Should check out some Hangio fan art in a bit. So anyway, we'll keep going through for all the rest of the stuff. This is the flash animation for the Hey mistakes. So do you want to play this one?
I have no idea what that is.
Let's have a look. Oh wait, it's oh, that's a shame. It went
To heck with Adobe Flash.
Yeah, Adobe Flash is going away soon. So. It's not very big either. I think if I can... can I expand
that's
it?
like tiny, yeah.
I think if you right-click and...
No. I think
okay,
that's a bit of a shame. Yeah. Well, it's
Whoops,
that
we
small.
tried.
Yeah. Tell you what, let me see if I can... let me see if I can do something here.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. When there's a will, there's a way. Is that big enough for everybody?
Yes.
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, an agreement. That sounds great. Have my call your people and we'll draw up the papers. Yeah, in your dreams, football head. Like I'm ever gonna agree with you about anything. And don't ever call me at my house, ever, again, ever!
This is pizza delivery. Can I have your order?
Cut! Sorry, I was hungry for pizza.
You gotta...
And don't ever come at my house ever again! Ever! No, actually, I was gonna ask you which way to the bathroom. Oh, they're right over there next to the wiener stand. And Phoebe? Yes? This conversation never happened. Right.
Cut!
And don't ever call me at my house ever again! Ever!
The number you dialed is not yet in service. Goodbye.
Cut!
And don't ever call me at my house ever again! Ever!
Gosh, I never really thought about Arnold that much.
Lila.
I mean, I always thought he liked me, but I never thought he liked me.
Cut!
And don't ever call me at my house ever again! Ever!
It's Weezenhead! And it's some other guy!
It's Weezenhead!
Cut!
And don't ever call me at my house ever again! Ever!
Hi, Ruth. 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 Hi, Ruth.
Hi, Ruth. Hi, Ruth.
Stop creeping up on me, you little freak!
Cut!
And don't ever call me at my house ever again! Ever!
Well, that's the end of that.
Oh my god.
Very talented.
Yeah, that was. There was also. I don't know if we can play it on the show because it'll probably get copyright claimed. But there was that Bataki's animation as well that's floating out around there. So you know, it's yeah. Hopefully, I mean, well, like, if anyone can actually check it out, then I would urge anyone to do so. Let's go back. So those are the plush dolls. You can't really see.
Oh, that looks so cool.
They're so good.
You know what? I'm actually missed a trick here. What if I actually expand out the window like that? Oh, there we go.
That's good.
Cool. Okay.
I wish I had what the kids call money.
Yeah.
Okay, apparently Pigeon Man is real, according to
I love and support him.
Oh my gosh.
I was hoping that was going to be a longer video, but I guess... tell you what, let me see if it's... Actually, expand it out like that, and see if you can see more of it. No, I don't think you can.
Whoops.
Oh well.
We tried.
So let me see if I can find out where we were. Someone's put the unofficial pilot up, and falls for Lila doesn't. She doesn't like me. It's like, you know, you got Helga. Cheer up.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't realize it yet, kid, but you're gonna be in good hands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's the frog in the pond. So, what do you think of the self-defense episode?
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, it
Barely
was a good episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like here's the thing.
One of the
like,
earliest episodes.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's like he never uses it ever again from throughout the 5 seasons.
I think maybe when he beat up the one guy in that alley, it kind of made him not want to use it anymore.
Yeah, it's like
yeah, because if I remember correctly, didn't he stop using it just as self-defense and he just started beating people up?
Yeah, he got into doing it too much and it got to his head. Huh.
Yeah, Arnold's like, I can definitely see him doing self-defense, but just beating people up, that's not Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drink your water. No skull cleaver or
so funny. Like Born and then yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Born, perhaps.
Who says this? Sienna Jordan says only 2 months more until the thankful 4th of July to celebrate. Okay. I'm sure you mean Hey Arnold the Jungle movie, but yeah, I think she's channeling her grandma in that sentence. I think. Kind of same way.
I get it.
Yeah, because Thanksgiving
4th of July.
Yeah. I'll see if this video expands out anymore because it was only yeah.
Pigeon Man.
That's crazy. I wish that went on. I wish that went on for longer, and but yeah, it only goes on for so long. Arnold and Gerald. Can I play the gifs? I don't know if you can. Oh yeah, I can. Cool.
Babies.
Don't know what's going on in this one. In this fan art, it's seems to be Arnold and Helga.
What are Arnold and Helga doing? Coming out that tent.
Yeah. You know what? I hate it when this is the thing about Craig says things are okay as a moment, but necessarily as a story. I think this is one of the situations where it's okay for a moment, but it commands a story. Like how do we get here? And yeah, and how do we get
Who
here?
drew that? I can't see their username.
It's Red EIV, and it's Hey Arnold concept jungle movie art. According to this, so she's drawn other stuff as well. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I love that tux.
Very good.
Yeah. And again, in good hands. In good hands. Very well put an Instagram post. This was September 27th, so this was 3 days ago. So this was what does that look like? Yeah. That was Love Potion. Some people were making a big deal out of its Spanish translation. I don't know what it was about, but yeah, apparently they really liked it. Oh, not like that yet. There we go. And yeah, it's. I like how he's like these stills. He must have like a huge collection of them somewhere. He must be just taking pictures of them on Instagram and showing them to everybody. And I just love seeing when he posts this stuff up. So I think that's really cool. Let's keep going. This is whoa! You need to see what Luke from Halloween looks like now, and apparently this is according to this is Sylvie from Vacant Lot Podcast. So shout out to her, by the way. If you don't check out the Vacant Lot Podcast, I definitely suggest you do check it out because she does some very good coverage of the show, and so that's something really cool. And this is Philip Van Dyke, apparently. So this is what he's up to now. Leaves eventually. What's he doing at the moment? Philip is no longer working as an actor. He snagged a few more memorial roles before saying his goodbye to profession in 2003. He voiced the character, one of the greatest cartoon characters of all time, Hey Arnold, for several years before guest starring in part of several shows for an episode or two. He appeared in the Amanda Show, Aurora de Trace, Boston Public, and the NYPD Blue. Basically, a sampler platter of the network television in the early 2000s. But if you don't remember him from any of these shows, then perhaps you should recall the single episode of The Gilmore Girls, which he appeared in, where he played a younger Christopher Hayden in the flashback of in Dear Emily and Richard. So this is what he's up to now. So very cool. Yeah. This is the thing. Like some people ask me, why can't you get this voice actor? Why can't you get that voice actor? Because they're no longer part of the industry and they're no longer wanting to kind of like promote themselves anymore. And so for them, but that particular part of their life is like just at that point, and they don't particularly want to like promote that anymore. And so unfortunately, voice actors move on in that way. So if there's a particular voice actor that I can't get on the show. That's one of the reasons why I can't get them on, but either that they're just, insanely busy. Kind of like, people ask me, like, when are you going to get Francesca Marie Smith on the show? It's like, she works as a college professor and I work as an IT technician, we just can't guess, our schedules are so massively busy. It's crazy, it's just, so unfortunately, one day it'll happen, but, until then, bear with me. So, cool. So, keep looking down. Pretty killer mask, actually. I was spending time looking at that, trying to figure out how it worked, and then I realized there's like these little two circles like on his hair, where you can actually look through it. So, okay then.
I see the Arnold mask and raise the Arnold pillow.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah. I've still got the. You know what? I should have worn it. I've still got the Jungle Movie pin that I got from that someone sent me from San Diego Comic-Con. So that's it's pretty good. It's what I based that Never Lose Hope thing on. And by the way, everyone chasing me for those Hey Arnold, those Never Lose Hope T-shirts. I'm still working on trying to work on basically how we're going to get them out because there's all sorts of. Keep this in mind, we're not a business, so we're not allowed to legally sell them. So I'm trying to find a different way of trying to get them out. So just bear with me on that until I can figure out what we can do in order to get everyone a Never Lose Hope t-shirt. So I'm still looking through all of that at the moment. So, just leave it with me, and I'll eventually I'll finally get to it. This is a Squad Goals shirt. That's available in places, isn't it? And a Hot Topic. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, someone found. Yeah, Sylvie Soulette found this. Shall we play it? Wait a minute. Oh no, I don't think we can because it's got copyright music on it. So
yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah. That what pisses me off so much about YouTube. It's like, the minute I might consider trying to go to VidMe, I might consider doing it. So because YouTube's just such a pain in the ass at the moment. So,
I switched over. It took a while to transfer everything. It's not so bad so far.
Yeah, but it's
they're a little stingy about some copyright stuff, but I think it's just if you get a hold of the people who own it and they're fine with it, then it's probably not a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, what are we switching to?
No, we're not switching to anything. I just said somewhere down the line, I said I might consider, just posting my episodes up on VidMe rather than posting up on YouTube, just because of all the copyright crap I have to go through in order to do it. I don't get this type. I never got this type of problem when I was just doing podcasts. When I was just doing, I never get this type of, all these problems then. But all of a sudden I go to YouTube, and all of a sudden, YouTube wants to pick a fight with me, which is just. It's disgraceful, really. Oh yeah, I like this one. Welcome, Spielers.
Spielers.
How's all your spieling?
Please.
Oh God. I also love how Stu Pickles has to point out that they've misspelled Spielers, and I had to tell him that you didn't have to spiel it out for us. Yeah. It's just this, yeah. Christine Sabrina Blackwell was cleaning out her room and she's found all her fan art, which I thought was kind of cool.
Oh wow! Ooh.
I'm sure.
Wow.
I wish my old fan art looked that good.
Yeah. So she's basically just been very busy and not a chance to get it all out. And
it's the boys.
No, it's the boys. And this is so. I guess we never got a chance to talk too much about the Hey Arnold Jungle movie trailer that's coming up in New York. I mean, how does everyone feel about it? And what do they hope to see? I
can't wait for it. I'm curious since he's labeling it as a trailer.
Yeah.
For one,
and not just a clip.
How long it's going to be, and then two, what are we actually going to get to see in it?
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to get to see the famous handshake, but are we going to see things like possibly La Sombra at all, or?
Yeah, hopefully they don't give away too many spoilers in this trailer.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. I mean, we said we've got there's all this hype around it right now, and there's all this excitement for it, and yet we've not seen the Green Eye people, we've not seen La Sombra, and I highly doubt we're going to see the parents. I think that's going to be like it's going to be like one of those Luke Skywalker deals where they're just they're like it's in the Force Awakens where they don't really you can like see where they are, and he puts his hand on like R2-D2, but you don't really see much else after that. And then they finally, when you get to the movie, you finally get the reveal. So
beautiful.
I think that's what we're gonna end up with. I mean, what does everyone else expect from the trailer? What are you hoping to kind of see?
Maybe a slight tease at the Arnold and Helga relationship, but not like anything as overt as the one for the first movie. Obviously,
Please.
Yeah.
Please. It would be nice if we saw a silhouette of La Sombra. Even if we didn't get to see his face, like a silhouette, I think that'd be cool.
I think what could be kind of cool is like doing a clip of like him saying something to close the trailer.
Okay. I like the way you think.
That's just me.
Yeah. It's interesting that he picked out Craig picked Alfred Molina to pick to voice La Sombra because he's been in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
So,
I love him as an actor. So once I saw that casting, I thought, well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I think you
seems
all.
Like a good choice.
Would you all have hated me if you picked Danny Trejo?
Who's that?
He's the guy who was Machete Cortez in Machete, and also he's done all the.
I would have been weirded out by it, but I guess if his performance would have been all right, I wouldn't have minded.
I've never seen Machete. I'm sorry.
And also he wasn't just Machete. He's also been in he was in an Alien and Predator film as well, and he was also in the Muppets Most Wanted as well as a cameo.
I've never seen any of that.
He was
I don't know any of his
Kids
work.
too.
He was in Spy Kids 2. Who did he play?
He was in one of the Spy Kids movies. I can't remember.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen the Spy Kids movies. I know what's going on now.
Yeah, it's him.
First one.
Okay. What an excitement! Why have we suddenly gone into a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory territory? Maybe it's what's going on here?
When you find out the Jungle movie's happening.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm kind of weirded out now. Oh, I know why, because it's all the reactions to this. So I was going down the Jungle movie. Like, why is everyone posting this? So.
Okay.
I like Marcus Pinto. He does little cute drawings of Hey Arnold characters, and this is Olga with someone from Mike, Lou, and Og. And
that's Mike.
Oh, is it Mike? Okay then.
Yeah, Mike was the little girl in Mike, Lou, and Og.
I wouldn't know.
Nika Futterman voiced both of them, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, have you got Prince Albert in a can? You do? You better not let him out. Waha, 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 waha.
I have plain flavored gum down here.
Oh man, I always this as opposed to Craig and said, well, that's my nightmare fuel for this evening. Thanks, Craig. I think so. Yeah, that's pretty fun. So, there's the Hey Arnold chapter box, and I think he's. I posted up mine before, and let me see if I can. See if I can find them. I can't remember if they were. Should be there somewhere. No, Preston 1-1. Cool. Let's have a look.
I downloaded the digital copies of the chapter books a while ago because a friend hooked me up with them, and I still haven't read them.
Oh, cool. I'm sure I posted them somewhere. Maybe it was way, way, way before.
I hear Brainy's e-files is really good.
Yeah.
I've got those. They're good.
Here's all of mine. So I got Arnold's E-Files, Mystery of Bermuda Triangle, Return of the Sewer King, and Arnold for President. And I didn't really get the ones that were based on episode. I mean, I got Parents' Day, but I just got it just to see if it would be any different from the episode, really. And it's not too different.
I've never heard of Arnold for President.
Arnold for President. Yeah, that's the one where Arnold and Helga run against each other, and I think someone else ends up winning. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah,
probably Phoebe.
Probably
Come
Phoebe.
on.
Yeah, that would
true.
Make
or Gerald, maybe.
So yeah, apparently he got all these from eBay. So
cool.
There. What's he got? He's got Arnold's Valentine. He's got the Arnold's Christmas. He's got the movie book as well. Arnold for President. Arnold's E-Files, and he's also got Return of the Sewer King. So
it's cool. It's
very
quite
good.
A collection.
Mm-hmm. We're less than 2 months away now from the Jungle movie, so that's what everyone seems excited about.
Still counting down the days.
It's just everyone's saying it's so far away, but keep this in mind. I'm actually living by week at the moment, so for me it's not that far away now. So I'm now concentrating on what's going on in 2018. So by the time my brain stops and starts again, the Jungle movie will be out. So that's how crazy my life is at the moment. So
I can't even think ahead as far as tomorrow.
Oh no! When you're running a podcast and you've got everything going in your life and you got your personal life going on as well, it's like you believe me, it's this goes very quickly. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. Here's Rose Edwards, and she's in pink in French. She's posted this.
Cute.
Oh, that's cute. That's really cool.
Very good art.
And these are I really like that Arnold portrays Ziggy and Helga and the Nanny are paired together since they have such similar themes to both characters. Learn something that's very true to the real world. Wait a second. Arnold screws up and finds out a way of finds a hard way that he's not forgiving everyone, and not everyone will move on easily. And nice guy helps people. Well, that's not his fault.
Yeah.
It's like it's also that was a. I mean, I'm going to ask Craig about that episode. Up in the upcoming Hey Arnold anniversary show. But I don't know about that. I think Helga and the nanny hold some sort of water, because I think Helga realizes how how awful she's been. And
Helga and the nanny, that one hurts.
See it again, and this is a pretty sad Instagram post. It's Arnold and everyone.
Aww.
Yeah. It's just I think, well, keep this in mind. Where we're going through another anniversary of Arnold losing his parents, and but this will be this might be the last one. So who knows what's going to happen in the Jungle movie? It's like I'm open-minded at this point. I mean, for me, the Arnold and Helga relationship is. I've got to be honest. I don't really mind what happens in the Jungle movie, because Craig's already told us they're soulmates.
Right.
They're going to be together for a very long time. There's fan art of it. I'll be very surprised if Craig just all of a sudden decides to up and change direction. But in regards to the parents, who knows where we're going with this? Like,
right. I love Arnold and Helga, and I love their relationship. But with as much as Craig has said over the years that they are soulmates, it kind of makes me more excited to see the resolution with his parents and what's going to go on there. Because Craig said this for years, so I don't see it changing.
Well, I think Arnold and Helga, if they get like a kiss in the movie, that would be kind of a bonus for me, rather than I think we've seen the fan art as well of Arnold and Helga, of Arnold being teary eyed with their parents and finally being reunited, and that's going to be I think that's the scene everyone's hoping to see. I think whether that's going to happen or not, I have no idea. I mean, remember in the Wild Thornberries when what's the name of that character? When we find out what happened to his parents, and it turns out they were killed by poachers or something like that, and it's Donnie, yeah. It's like we could. Who knows which direction we're going to go in? It's like, mind you, if Arnold finds if Arnold finds out that his parents were killed and La Sombra killed them, it's like he's going to go all hellfire and try and I don't know, cleaves La Sombra's skull in. It's like, it's... I
don't know if it's that dark, but...
It probably won't be, no, but at least it'll motivate, Arnold to, do something, that he probably would never do, and maybe challenge him as a character a little bit, but, I don't think that's going to happen either. I think what my prediction is right now that I think, Arnold's going to have a, nice reunion with his parents. What happens after that, I have no idea. So I'm over the book of the day. If you had to ask me about my version of the Jungle movie that I was doing, I would have had him, meet up with Arnold, and they would reconcile, and then they would go back with him to Hillwood, and and then what would happen. So that would be my opinion on that. But who knows what we're going to end up with.
Phoebe, you okay?
Yeah. My tips for men here. In this day and age, therapy is perfectly acceptable and quite useful. So, it's actually, I don't know, did Helga on the Couch come in at a time when, I don't know, if counseling was a bit, I don't know, I always thought it was a normal thing to do, back in the day.
I think so.
It depends on the environment you grew up in.
Who knows?
Obviously, like, with Big Bob, he's like, Pataki's don't talk about their problems, but...
Yeah.
For other people, therapy is totally normal because it was never made to be. Their parents never made it seem shameful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have no idea what this is about. Why is so cute? Not fair. Girl of creepy grin. You're in good hands. I need to lie down. Oh yeah, I think this is like bits from the from different episodes, and then the movie from down there as well. I have no idea where that's from. So cool. Shall we play a clip from my show?
All right. Yeah.
That is everyone wants to.
I first created Arnold in 1988, and at that point I had...
This is Hey Arnold on social media, so we'll react to this.
I just moved to Los Angeles, and I had been working on the Penny cartoons for Pee-wee's Playhouse, And the penny cartoons were they were claymation, just like what I had been doing in Portland before that. All through the 80s, I was a clay animator doing stop motion animation. But Penny was new. Penny was really different. Penny was shot on glass with a camera up above it, and she was basically didn't have to have an armature. Her character was made of clay that could just lie on the glass, and so she seemed really great, kind of weightless, and could hop around and do all this really cool stuff. And I really liked that technique. So anyway, I was so influenced by that flat, clay style of the penny cartoon that when I designed Arnold, I was working in that flat mode, and so I just was cutting out funny shapes, and I really liked the football shape. The thing I liked best about the football shape was I could put the eyes kind of way out on the sides, and it was an inspired design. What can I say? I mean, I really can tell you that over the years, what I love most about making a cartoon show of my own characters is generally I learned to draw the main characters pretty well, where I can draw them quickly. And if I draw them on a chalkboard, and if I'm talking to kids in a school, or if somebody asks me to give them an autograph, it's really easy to draw a little Arnold in there. And so it's the character I've probably drawn more than any other character. And I also I play the game Draw Something, and I draw Arnold's all the time because people that are playing Draw Something with me are generally Arnold fans. And so I'll try to, when I'm answering the word, it's a word.
Just to say that I don't know how often he plays Draw Something now. I mean, I'm not too sure if he's...
It's adorable.
Yeah, but, if he hasn't been playing them recently, you know why. It's like, we've got this thing called the Jungle Movie coming out soon, so...
He's busy.
That's why.
The puzzle, that you're just trying to draw. And
yeah.
I'll just pick a word that I can easily make an Arnold situation, and then I post those. I realize at this point I've posted about 300 by now.
Wow.
Pictures from my Draw Somethings, I'll just do a screen capture when I'm done, and then I'll post it on Instagram. So anybody who wants to see what's new with Hey Arnold and me should just follow me on Instagram, because I'm constantly putting up my Draw Somethings. And
have you seen Craig Butler's Instagram? It's like he just posts one thing and he gets like 800 likes.
Right.
Yep.
I get emails every time he posts something.
Yeah, it's like he can always post hey, I'm walking down the road, and like about 500 people would like it. It's like,
me too. Me too.
Yeah, it's like I wish it. Well, I don't know. It's like I guess there is some positivity. I guess there is some negativity that comes from that. I guess a little bit, but I don't know.
It's funny. It's just like how I'm doing a quick, quite simple. That drawing program on Draw Something is not complex, and so just like a simple color drawing of a scene from Hey Arnold, and it'll be generally I find myself drawing Arnold the most, then Helga, then Gerald, and so on, Phoebe, and I draw them over and over again, and so it's just funny. The Arnold design is just one of those things that I'm really glad I did it whenever that was, 1988, because it's a really it's an easy thing to draw and very distinctive. People can tell it's Arnold from a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, you cast your mind back to 1997, and would you ever have thought you would be doing things like Instagram or Draw Something or something like that?
No, I think that I was just saying that.
That's a good point. What we were all doing what were we all doing before? We were doing all of this. Can anyone actually remember?
Who knows, man?
I think we were just stuck in front of the TV watching Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Well, in 1997, I was a year old, so I wasn't doing much of anything.
No. You were probably keeping your parents up all night.
Yeah.
Probably what you were doing. Yeah, and that's probably what I was doing as well, 1 year old, so don't worry about it.
Don't call me out like that.
Yeah, but anyway, it's just it's amazing how times have just changed. Where I still remember being sat in front of the TV, and at the time, my dad would use a shaver, and he would actually interfere with the signal of the satellite dish, and I know, like it's just so amazing, and but I think it's that's where we are, and yeah.
I was talking to my wife about that, how I realized that I had more than 300 of these drawings, Hey Arnold themed Draw Somethings that I had saved and put on my iPad. The next time I go down to the Nickelodeon, and I'll flip through it with them and show them all these pictures, just to say, this is currently how I'm drawing, all the Arnold characters. And it all has happened in a way where now I can't even remember what it was like when I wasn't, using Facebook, using Instagram, and basically, it's a feed that you just kind of, once you get used to it, you just keep. I constantly put stuff up on both of those feeds because it's fun. It's fun to do that. It's a way that I stay in touch with my friends. I have some good friends that I communicate with on that, and then of course there's a lot of people that I don't know. But it's a fun way. It's a fun way to meet people too. The artists that are posting on a daily basis to all their different Instagram feeds. I have met so many local artists that are really good because of the social networks. So it's a really cool way for us to find people, and it's a great way now. A lot of these people that are posting their drawings, they're going to get careers. It's 10 years ago this didn't exist, and now people will see their work and they'll hire them and they'll work on shows, and people will get shows because of this. So it's
I was gonna say, because didn't they? I remember there was one show. I can't remember which one it was for the life of me. But didn't they they saw like adult versions of their characters, and then they said, "Oh, hey, can we use that for our show?" And I think it was like on DeviantArt or something like that. I can't remember for the life of me what the show was called. It's I can't remember which one it was at all.
Blank too.
Describe the main character.
No, sorry. There's just it's going to be one thing I'm going to have to just basically turn around. All I remember there was a video someone showed me. It was like one good scare will do you some good. That was one song that was in the show. It was like apparently someone had hiccups and he created like an entire haunted house or something like that, and he took it around. He's apparently a really smart character, and apparently doesn't want to get caught or something like that. One of the characters actually dresses like Helga in the show. I don't know. It's that's over my head, but
it's the new medium to show off art, and there's a lot of them, of course. There's Flickr and Pinterest and all these different ways that people.
I don't know if you've heard of DeviantArt. I mean, have you? Are you surprised
you're not? My friends, the Medinas, Janelle Medina, who has she and Kokinako, the two friends. I think I found them on Facebook, or they found me. That made that wonderful Arnold calendar last year. They were just on.
Does anyone remember the Hey Arnold calendar?
Yes,
I saw photos of it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful calendar.
It's before I got back into the fandom.
Yeah.
DeviantArt.
Yeah.
And I love once I found Janelle's page, and there was all this great stuff, and she was basically posting tons of other people's work, and so you in one kind of page you could flip through and see all this fan art. And it's great. It's incredible.
So you quite? Have you never been tempted yourself to go on DeviantArt yourself and post up some stuff or anything, or is that?
It's interesting. Like I don't know why I landed at the things that I did, but it seems like there's so much energy just to do Facebook and Instagram that I'm like, that's enough for me, because they have all these people have really encouraged me to start a Tumblr account or something. And I can't be bothered at this point. There's just too much to do. Like I said, this is the busiest I've ever been in my whole life. So there's too much to do. There's not enough hours in a day.
And that was great battle back in 2014, talking about social media. So it's if you want to check out, there's actually more clips of me talking with Craig. And what I've been doing is I've been kind of spacing them out because not everyone has the time to listen to an hour show. So what I said to everybody, to all the Hey Arnold fans, is look, I'll slowly start creating clips and posting out kind of the best ones of the shows and putting them out on there. So that's where you can listen to them now on YouTube if you want to find them out there. So. Cool.
I actually just looked up the thing that you were talking about, the Hiccup song. It's from Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb. That's the show.
I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's...
Because I knew One Good Scare will do you some good, but I didn't want to say the wrong show and look stupid.
Yeah. Don't worry, I say wrong things all the time and look stupid quite a lot of the time, so, and I host the show, so don't worry about it. But at least I admit when I'm being stupid, so, that's the difference between me and everyone else on doing these types of shows. Yeah, so that's that. So we're an hour and 23 minutes in, and so I don't know if I'm not sure if we should probably wrap up because we got with the second half of the show coming up later on tonight. So so guys, I mean, do you want to say anything before we go off, or mention anything before we got anything to plug or anything? No.
The only thing I'll say is I really, really, really hope Nickelodeon will release this later for people to own when the movie finally gets done airing on TV.
I think that's inevitable.
Because I have to have that in my hands.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool to have it on release too, but I need to have a physical copy.
Yeah. I think I might get. I was thinking it's either going to get it. I don't know if it's going to go on DVD or if it's going to be on Blu-ray. And so I think if it's on Blu-ray, I'd definitely get the Blu-ray. But
oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, the time I thought, I wanted to get the original thing I wanted to say was I wanted to get the Jungle movie like on the IMAX or something like that. Like having like
that would be amazing.
Wouldn't it be? Yeah, it's like it would. They would have to stick in. They would have to shove loads of action into it in order to make it justifiable. But yeah, I thought that's. Yeah, but the fact that we're getting it out on TV, I think, to be honest with you, isn't that kind of how it probably should have been in the first place? After the disaster that was Hey Arnold the movie, I think maybe that's maybe we should be happy that we're probably getting a TV movie after everything that's happened.
I didn't mind the first movie, but I think them doing it in the theater is what really hurt the reception for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely.
It makes me wonder what would happen if it really was 98, 99, 100. And made those 3 episodes of the show.
Right, I always wonder that.
Yeah. So anyway, we are really looking forward to this, and it's going to be Thanksgiving, that we understand in November. So it still feels surreal, even after we've just had a good talk about it, and I think it's still going to be surreal. I think when we actually see it. So yeah, it's going to be the most. It's a once in a blue moon, totally amazing event.
It's not just a movie; it's a dream come true.
Yeah, it is. And,
13 years later, that's so crazy.
It's a football match. It really is. And every time I get excited about it, there's like this tingle in the back of my neck, and the only thing that cures it is this scarf. So
every time Craig posts something, it just makes the wait for it even longer.
I don't know. Every time some new news comes out for it, I have to basically get on my phone or get on my computer and start talking about it. So for me, it's I think it's just kind of continuing on, the amount of time that it's going to get shortened. I think for me, so we kind of live in two different. I think everyone else and me kind of live in a bit of a. Kind of a bit of a shift as well, because doing the show obviously moves time along, and it's amazing how much you either you miss or you get kind of and while everyone else is kind of on the seat really waiting for it, and for me it's like it's going to be coming soon, and but hey, 2018 is coming around the corner. It's like that's my mentality at the moment, so it's crazy. So yeah, but yeah. I think we're going to be wrapping up here, and so Kyle, I guess not only thank you for being on the show, thank you for your work, thank you for the petition, thank you for all that your stuff that you do. You got an applause, and thanks for keeping all this going, man. It's we're finally getting.
It was a long ride. That was about 7 years, because I joined in about 2011, and that's when I joined the group as an admin to help push the movie, and to know it's 7 years later, it's really real. It's surreal and it's crazy. It's like I told my friend the other day, I don't think it'll finally hit me until I see the words for the movie on my screen when I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if they decide to go with Jim Lang's kind of like intro, or they decided to say, well, Welcome to the Jungle's pretty cool. So, from Guns N' Roses.
I wonder about that.
Yeah. Matt, thanks very much for being on the show. Anything you want to leave us with?
Just that I'm really, really excited for the Jungle movie. Counting down the days.
Are you going to be turning up to the Hey Arnold fan days? I don't know. Sorry, any of the Hey Arnold meetups?
I actually have gone to MCM Comic-Con like since I was like 13, so I might end up coming up and then seeing you.
Cool.
That'd be really, really cool.
You're going to the London one?
Yeah. Yes.
So for Thursday, so Friday, Saturday, whichever day you're going to turn up. So we're 12 till 1 on each day. So let us know when you're going to turn up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, Skylar, thanks very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
So I just caught you by surprise. Yeah, sorry about that. Cause, anything you want to leave us with?
All I can say is that I hope there can be a 6th season, so kids today can learn lessons, because I learned like a lot from that show.
Yeah, I think we all did. Spectrum Bunny, thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, Aaron.
And Stephen, thank you very much for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And from all of us, thank you very much for checking out the Arrow Meta Show. It's facebook.com/Arrow Meta Show. Twitter is @Arrow Meta Show. If you want to find us on Tumblr, it's arrowmeta.tumblr.com. And on YouTube, it's youtube.com/Arrow Meta Show. If you want to listen to the podcast, it's iTunes, Player FM, Stitcher. So if that's the first half of the Hey Arnold Fan Day, we've got the second half coming up, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back. So thank you very much for listening to the Arrow Meta Show, and thanks for checking us out. Hey everybody, it's Arun from the Arrow Meta Show. I am lucky enough to have one of the coolest co-hosts on my show. Her name is Patricia Miranda, and she also hosts her own podcast, which is the Old School Lane podcast. If you want to find her on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Old School Lane. Her latest post is that she's recently had a special guest, which is Cassine Gaines, who is discussing about his new book, The Dark Crystal. You can also find her on YouTube. Her tag is PBM717. That's PBM717. And you can see here she has podcasts, videos, top 10s, commentaries, interviews, and more. She's also part of the channel Predator Network. Her latest video from there is the We Are In Between episode 34, where she talks with Ashley and Casey about As Told by Ginger episodes, and she's going through every single one of them. You can also find out her views on things on her Twitter, which is Patty_B_Miranda. That's Patty_B_Miranda. And you can see all her tweets there as well. So there's 3 places to check her out. And also there's her blogspot, which is oldschoollane.blogspot.com. So plenty of ways to find her, plenty of ways to listen to her. Go check her out right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I'm gonna show the whole world why I was the unscripted, uncensored, loose cannon of commentary.
I'm back, baby.
Broadcasting from Manchester in the United Kingdom, this is the Arrow Meta Show. Welcome back to the second part of the Hey Arnold Fan Day. You're on the weekend of the 30th to the 1st of October. So 30th of September to the 1st of October 2017. Thank you very much for all checking us out. We have some of our guests from the previous hour back. We have Stephen. Oh, I think it's just, I just realised has not turned up his levels. We have Stephen, sorry.
Hey.
Hey, Stephen. We have Spectrum Bunny.
Hi.
We have Matt.
Hello.
And we also have Jade.
Hi.
Hello. So, I think we'll just kick off straight into it. I mean, I'll say what, Jade. We'll start off with you because you didn't get much of an interview here. You've only just joined us on the second half. So, how excited are you for the Jungle movie, and how exciting is it to be a Hey Arnold fan right now?
Oh my God, I am just like soaring so high right now. You just don't even know. I'm so excited. Oh my God. It's just each time I see a picture, I'm just like going higher and higher. I never can reach me.
So what do you think of this image?
Oh my God. Well, I literally just came home from work and I saw that and I was like trying not to scream in the car. Like, oh my God. Oops. I just can't believe it, really.
Yeah, it seems
like surreal to see it.
We're going to be in a good position because it seems that now that the movie seems to have, now that the animation seems to be 100% done, and now Jim Lang's just basically, strumming a guitar somewhere or hiring up a band. So that's all very good stuff to go with, and you know, and I'm actually pretty glad that he's doing that because you know, I think there's one thing that we seem to I wouldn't say we kind of like don't talk about it, but I don't think it gets enough mention. I don't think, and that's Jim Lang's music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Without his music, the show would be a little dull.
Yeah. So
it just wouldn't be the same, really.
Yeah.
You gotta have background music.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, I said to one time in I remember in the 2011 interview when Greg was talking about Jim Lang, and I had to say and I said to him, you know, if my life had to have background music, Jim Lang would have to write it.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like if I said to them, it's like, you know, maybe Metallica. I think, you know, I think I probably lose my hearing. I think as I'm walking up the road. It's just, you know, you can only hear "Whom the Bell Tolls" only a certain amount of time before, you know, you have to give it up. So.
Don't get too crazy.
Yeah. You know what? I just realized something. Once again, I've looked at the post and I realized I'm going to like on it. So there we go. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
How dare you not like it?
Well,
tut, tut, tut.
I've got there now. Come on. It's like, yeah. But, you know, it's just, it is amazing looking at art coming out. And also, I like the retro stuff as well. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Arnold in his orange sweater.
Yeah,
the pilot was wild.
He's like, he must have like a treasure trove of these, like, somewhere. You know, it's.
Oh, yeah, he does.
I would give anything for an animation cell.
Oh, yeah, I would too. And I can imagine he's got him like all in like I do remember one time when he was talking about all the animation stuff that they had for the Jungle movie, you know, the first time around, and they've said that they put it away. And it was like it was like the Raiders of the Lost Ark where it would never be found again.
Right. That's fine.
Yeah, and would you believe it? They've decided to dig it out again. So, yeah, this is the I like the name of that episode he does, and this is obviously Helga's love potion, and it's you can see it's as well it's a little bit out of place, the lines and the art, but it's, you know, still the same, which is pretty cool, and that's actually really, really good. What if they decided to? I mean, this will be pretty extreme. That they decided to, like, you know, reshoot all the art and all the frames, and did like a HD episode of Hey Arnold.
That'd
be weird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That'd be really smooth.
Yeah. That'll happen one day, I think. There'll be some avid fan out there that'll look at all the frames of Downtown as fruits and, like, you know, it's like to like redraw it, like, you know like the old video games where they would like smooth out all the lines and everything and make it look all really right. And do that.
Just watching the preview clip is weird because everything's all smooth and pretty and crisp, and seeing that next to the pilot episode and stuff like that, it's weird.
Yeah, it definitely is.
It's different, but I like it. I love the banana suit cookie cutter.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say about the new animation, and I know it's not gone down well with like everybody, but here's this in mind. I said this from the very beginning when, you know, I was on board with Save the Jungle movie. I said, you know, this is not going to be the same, you know, work that was going to be expected. And I'll safely say this though, is like, wouldn't you say this looks better than Hey Arnold the movie? By
yeah,
definitely.
I like the colors that they used in Hey Arnold the movie.
I didn't like the fact that the main characters were shaded and everyone else was just kind of plain.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Arnold had some pretty strong shadows on him in the movie.
Yeah, just didn't see a point of that really, but you know, I know. So,
oh, Arnie, come on, stop.
I think we've already talked about this before.
I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
Well, I wrote on Craig's Facebook page. I said to him, I said this on the first hour, but that if you you know, thanks Craig. I think, you know, this is going to be my nightmare tonight. So yeah.
I like have a fear of clowns, so that's like no.
Well, has anyone seen?
I like to count things.
Has anyone
I
seen
like Arnie.
Yeah. Has anyone seen the new It film yet?
Yeah, it's really good.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I've seen the Tim Curry
I'm
version.
not a horror fan.
No, I am not either.
I'm a baby.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's just So, Craig, this was the one that Craig dropped when he said that they were going to be doing a trailer for Comic-Con, and obviously that's going to be very interesting to say the least of what he's going to show us and what we're going to see. And
I know.
Yeah. I mean, Jade, you had a chance to put in your opinion on the Jungle movie yet. What do you think, in trailer-wise, coming up to New York, what are you hoping to see?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm just trying to think. Well, I would like to see more of the jungle, really, because obviously all we've seen so far was Hillwood. So I just want to see more of them in the jungle, really, and I want to see La Sombra as well. And I just want to see more action, really.
I really want La Sombra to be a rancid villain. I really do. I just want it just to be, like the villains of old, like So remember Jafar and remember some really fun villains we had back in the day. It's like I just feel like we don't really have that type of villain anymore, really. And we seem to get complex. I mean, I remember Ratatouille, and they had Ego, and but he.
Well, Sombra needs to get on Scar's level.
I think he does, yeah, and he just needs to be, because at the moment, if you think about it, I mean, we talked about this in the first hour as well, and that was that at the moment we're focusing on Arnold and Helga and Arnold's parents. Those are the two kind of main things we kind of focus on. But La Sombra is kind of like the third thing we kind of think about, really, which isn't really a good place for a villain.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they're gonna, really want to showcase him in the trailer. If they're gonna,
please, definitely.
Yeah, and show us what it's about. And that was the poster that they commissioned for, and it's shaped in obviously Gerald's cut with "Hey Arnold" written on it. So that's that's somewhere in the office, no doubt. And
that's so pretty.
It is, isn't it? And I'm really glad most of the art stayed the same, pretty much. So it's still familiar with what we've got. Yeah. The one thing I will say about Hillwood is that I would say that it's gotten bigger. If you notice in the in the preview that we played in the beginning of the show, that you notice that it's actually got a lot larger than it has previously. So, and I think it kind of highlights Hillwood a little bit more, because you can see all the regeneration that's kind of gone along around it, but that's kind of stayed the same. So
yeah, when you watch the original episodes, Hillwood feels kind of really compact.
It does, and
because they mentioned in the original movie that Hillwood only spans 4 or 5 blocks, something like that.
There is a map on the Hey Arnold Wikia. You can have a look at Hillwood and see where everything is. And so that's how detailed it all is. It's like they even have a map of where things are. Helga's house is there, and the low rent district is there, and Quigley Stadium is there. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, also, I got to notice this as well, and actually I've already forgotten about it before I even tried to mention it, and that is that if this is going to be the, for everyone who's going to be wanting to go on the Never Lose Hope tour, let me give you the dates again. It's 27th and 28th of October. I'm going to be at the Excel Centre in London, which is the MCM Comic-Con, and so you can you're going to be joining me there, and due to fan demand, I also came Friday as well, so, I wonder who that was, but...
I
wonder. And so we're going to be doing Friday, we're going to be doing Saturday, and so we're going to be the grassy bit near Novotel, so we're kind of sharing the space with the Rick and Morty meetup. So that'll be kind of cool as well. So, maybe we can all yell wubba wubba dub dub at them while they're all yelling "Move it, football head" at the same time. Yeah, so... Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh god.
You know what'd be funny is imagine if there was a Hey Arnold episode where Rick and Morty turned up. It's just there's dimension portal just come up and just
oh jeez, Rick.
Where have we ended up? I don't know. It seems like boarding house, Rick. Morty.
Oh my god.
Why is there an Asian guy strumming a guitar on the roof? He's reminding me of the simple things. There's just so many possibilities in that. if that happened, that would be the most epic thing ever. I really would say. But anyway, I've clearly lost track again. November the 5th. If you're going to be in Manchester, you want to go to Stockport County Football Club. That's the Stockport Unleashed event. So if you're going to buy tickets from there, make sure that you are there at the house to sign for them, because if you don't, you're going to have to go to the post office to go get them, because that's the way they kind of do tickets there. So if you're going to be going there, we'll meet outside. If we can't get in, we'll just be outside and we'll have a nice conversation about something. And by the way, all of them are 12 till 1, so they're all like lunchtime based. And then the last one, which is going to be the week before the Jungle movie, so this one should be a fun one. It's going to be November 18th. It's going to be at the NEC Centre in Birmingham. So that's going to be the other MCM Comic-Con in Birmingham there too. So that's going to tee it all off. So London, Manchester, Birmingham, surely there's one of those you can make. It definitely will be worth it. Also, you get to hang around with some other Hey Arnold fans as well. So
all the cons are so far away.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But,
I don't live anywhere near the UK.
No. Well, it's a shame, really, because I would have gone to NYCC, but the big problem is that they announced the panel, and I only had like 2 or 3 reasons out of 3 reasons to go there. I had family, I had recreational, so I had family and I had business, but I didn't have recreational. So I just felt at the time it wasn't really worth the money. And now that I know that Hey Arnold was down there, and if I could get a ticket and if I could get down there, I definitely would have gone. But unfortunately, that's the way it is. And so I keep telling Craig, like, I'm going to keep telling, I might turn up to San Diego Comic Con, I might turn up to New York, and it just never happens. So unfortunately, it's just so.
Oh, I'm sure he understands.
Yeah,
he's busy too.
He does. And and also just to let you know, I'm going to be talking with him next week for the Hey Arnold anniversary show. So,
I'm not ready. I'm not ready for him to answer my question.
Let me say this. I want to thank all the Hey Arnold fans for the questions, because they are good ones. They are very, very good ones, let me say. Now, I will dampen expectations a little bit. I'm not going to ask him, do they find his parents at the end of the Jungle movie? And I'm not going to ask him if Arnold's going to kiss Helga. Because they're spoilers, and I'm not going to ask them. Why? If you know, and let me safely say this, I know Craig has said a lot already, but, he still had a chance to kind of change a few things. And let me safely say this, if you know what's going to happen in the Jungle movie, why would you go and watch it when you already know what happens? We need you to watch it. Please watch it.
Exactly.
That's what we want you to do.
I'm pretty sure spoilery questions were thrown out.
Yeah, definitely. So there's no spoiler questions, and there's no irrelevant questions as well. So no more asking for money from churches / people and Libyan generals asking for help with their revolution. So, you get so much crazy spam mail doing these things, and it's really? So you do. And also on top of that, they ask you to call numbers, and I swear I'm not. I know it might sound strange. They're all from Nigeria. They're all Nigerian numbers. Of course they are. They're Nigerian numbers.
Where else would they be from?
It's like, I'm a Nigerian prince, and I ask you to send me money. Please ignore the fact that I can't spell prince or Nigeria. I'm surrounded.
Strangely relatable.
Yeah, I'm surrounded sometimes. So we all went round the Hey Arnold 100,000 page. So I thought we'd give it a bit of a change, and we'd go around the Hey Arnold CJM and Beyond page this time. So actually, before we even do that, shall we visit some of our favourite tumblers for Hey Arnold? Shall we?
Oh no!
Because
Oh no!
There's one I wanted to go to, and that I mentioned in the first hour, and so I thought we'd just give her a mention. So.
I love Miko.
Yeah, if I can spell her name right.
Miko's art house.
Miko's. Got it. There we go. So she's shared this recently, and there's some people actually are into the idea of Arnold and Lila being friends one day. So
hey Z, isn't Miko's art house in the Discord server?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because I know we got Moni, but is Miko there?
Yeah, it's
that's the same person.
That's the same person.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Heck.
So.
That's definitely Moni's art. Okay.
that's her latest one, which.
I love it. So pretty.
I think they're married in this one. I think, from the looks of it.
Moni does great stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if what do people think of a canon, of a head canon of like Arnold and Helga get married, they adopt Vincente, this Mexican son, and then there's their daughter, which I completely blast on her name. I can't remember what it is, but
I don't remember her name either. But I love Vicente.
Yeah, I think Vincente's pretty cool, and I'll try and get an image of him in a bit. But yeah, it's like, I like this. One thing I always like, an idea I always liked, and I don't know if Moni agrees with me on this, is that when they're done with like college and university and stuff like that, and what I thought they would do is that they go into entry level jobs, they're low paid, underappreciated. I thought they'd both move into the boarding house together, and they'd be in Arnold's room, and then it's like they be there until they get obviously they get better jobs, and then Arnold asks Helga to marry him, and that's. That all goes down. So, yeah, it's
my heart.
Oh, my heart. Oh,
yeah, it's funny. It's like the guy who comes up with like characters like Skull Cleaver, who like goes around and slices people's heads in half. All of a sudden has like romanticized thoughts about about ships. It's like this. I'm still trying to figure out how this works at the moment.
Happens.
So, yeah. Let's see if there's any more stuff. So would it be better going on to DeviantArt rather than going through a Tumblr? Because the Tumblr is quite full of things. Maybe if we go in the archive. Oh, that seems a bit better. Okay, so here we go. So
there's Vicente. Oh, I love him.
Yeah, that's her idea of where Arnold and Helga are at the moment. So which is fun.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. So yeah. And
I don't remember the girl's name to save my life either.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Moni.
I think it'll be in the update of the post. Started Vincente, made the cake. I think it's Haley. Haley Shortman.
Oh, really?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
It's on the tip of my tongue almost.
Yeah. So that's her idea of what's going on. And I think let's have a look at some other stuff. I've got to go back to the archive somehow. If Google Chrome will allow me. Yeah.
Come on.
There we go. Go back on the archive.
Wahoo.
So I liked when the new designs came out and she decided to do variations of that.
Oh, these are great.
Yeah.
Oh, Lila's dress.
It's like I think Lila's obviously in the preview, but I don't think she's going to be like a proper character in the movie from the looks of it.
She's not going on the trip. She's going to be out of town.
She's tell you what, actually I asked about Craig about that. He said he was hoping that if they do a sixth season, we probably might get like a spin-off of Lila seeing where she was when the whole Jungle movie was going on. Like,
I'd love to see that.
That'd be interesting.
Do you know what would be hilarious? Like say at the end of the jungle, after the credits have rolled and everything like that, and the Jungle movie's done, and they do like like Marvel does like the last
bonus scenes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How about the bus comes up, it opens the door, Lila comes off, and then sees like everyone like celebrating like whatever's happened in the Jungle movie. She's just kind of sitting there like, what happened?
What did I miss?
What did I miss?
I'm so certain I missed something.
That would just be brilliant, and yeah. Apparently Helga,
oh, Helga, I love that Helga.
Yeah, I wonder how much action there actually will be in the Jungle movie. Thinking about it, because if it's Hey Arnold was kind of our first drama, and so he kind of played as such. So I mean, I don't expect it to be like kind of like Michael Bay, style, kind of like explosions and smashing and things like that. I don't know, but I mean, I don't know how much like in that violent nature how much we're going to see, but I think it's gonna be far more story driven. I think it is going to be obviously here's this gun, here's this explosion, run this way, run that way.
All I really want is for somebody to punch Lumber in the face.
Oh yeah. Oh
yes.
That's all I really want.
I think if he was played, I wanted him to be played by Danny Trejo, and one of the reasons is because he always gets what he deserves in the end. He always dies. And I'm sure that they would find a pretty brutal way to kill off Danny Trejo in the Jungle movie. Like dump him in a volcano, crushed by rocks. I don't know, eaten alive by insects, and plenty of ways to do it. So
I want him to be punched so hard he backpedals over the edge of a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I want.
The one thing one thing I don't. There's one thing I'm a little bit concerned about, and that is that everyone thinks that Eduardo is like there's something going on with him. That he's working like he's working with.
Not.
I hope not too. It's like
I don't think so.
I don't think there's anything going on with him.
Yeah, I really don't want my tweets when I'm watching the Jungle Movie to be "fuck you, Eduardo." It's like it's.
Gosh.
Hashtag fuck you, Eduardo.
That's gonna be the trending tweet on Thanksgiving Day. Watch out.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Number one tweet.
Being thankful.
Okay, I just realised I opened the archive twice on that. So.
God. Yeah, I wouldn't think that Eduardo is going to be betray Miles. I wouldn't see that since they've been college mates.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's
I don't know how
like,
they do that.
well, I mean, yeah, this is adorable. And
Sweet baby.
Yeah, and also I gave Jebby a request that's kind of similar to this. So if anyone's Jebby, if anyone sees like a similar photo to this, I asked her to do it by accident, not realizing this existed. So sorry, but yeah.
Whoops.
It's just I'd love to. They can make so many antics with Arnold and Helga being parents of a toddler. It's like like having to stay up all night, having to chase around after it, after her, and they could do so much. They can have so much fun with that. It's like
oh, they are.
Who knows? Like I don't know. It's like would anyone be interested in like I'm not sure if everyone's heard of Life with the Shortmans.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Singer's close friend of mine, and I love hearing about Life with the Shortmans.
And because it's like he's got 4 kids, and like they're all driving him nuts, and that's it's like I'm
They
sure
all have really distinct personalities, and they're all really great characters.
which is great, yeah, because I've read fan fictions where basically kid characters end up kind of being kind of like the clones of their parents, which is kind of creepy when you think about it, because. I mean, you think, did Arnold and Helga just clone this person in a lab and not?
Oh, honestly.
Yeah. So, this is probably this is probably my favorite one out of the lot. I wonder if this is the one that moves. It probably is.
Oh.
Yeah. And yep, there we go. So that's the one where. I think there's 2 fan artists who think that Arnold proposes to Helga in the jungle. And.
I'm gonna go back to San
Lorenzo, yeah. And
that would be cute.
There's also 2 ways that apparently Helga says yes. It's either she goes in shock and says yes in stutter, or basically she goes "Doi football head, of course I'll marry you." Like,
why not both?
Yeah.
Probably both, yeah.
I like to think he starts proposing to her, but she immediately knows that he's doing it and just says yes, like right off the bat.
Just ask the question, football head.
Just ask it. Just get to it.
Get on with it.
Beautiful. Oh.
Yeah. I like this little book that he made, like the never-ending adventure, and
that's so sweet. That is something Arnold would do.
Yeah, it would be, yeah. And then it says, and so the adventure continues with a brand new chapter waiting to be started.
Aww.
Yeah.
Please, I'm gonna cry.
I know.
Yeah.
Get the tissue box.
The movie's not even out yet, and I'm crying.
Yeah. And so let's have a look at some other ones. This is another one I like from Moni.
Oh.
Do you know what's
I'm gonna have to.
Do you know what's great about all this? It's like it's basically it is real life, isn't it? It's like you're working the whole time. You're trying to get hold of trying to handle 2 kids at the same time, and like this is a realistic situation. And I like it when they make realistic scenarios. Just seem so cute. It seems a lot better with our favorite characters, doesn't it? So
he's gonna collapse in bed with them. It'll be fine. He looks exhausted.
Yeah. Though there's one thing I will admit is that Craig Bartlett told me a long time ago, like things are okay for a moment, but not necessarily for a story. And but this is something that kind of commands a story a little bit. I want to know how this happened. And maybe there's a fan fiction out there somewhere of that, so who knows? But yeah.
That's sweet.
It is. And that's Moni, so check her out. It's mikosarthouse.tumblr.com, and check the archive.
Nice.
Brilliant. And shall we check Jebby before we go? Let's I don't remember if it's is it Jebby Art? Is it? I think.
Jebby Pinkart.
Jebby Pinkart. Yeah, let's not go on the other one.
Please don't. Come on, screen.
Yeah, and she's.
Oh, she's got autoplay.
Yeah, it does.
Autoplay music.
Well, that's how you turn it off. Yeah, I didn't want to, in case YouTube decides to do what they do. Let's have a look at some of the. My God, she posts loads of stuff. So she's already taken note of the latest update.
Yeah.
That didn't take her too long.
Oh, I love her background. Crazy Arnold.
And so there's one here that she's doing, which is better catch the slider. There we go. She's doing another one where Helga seems to be asleep.
Oh,
on her.
cute.
Yeah. Yeah. There's this thing that everyone seems to do where like Arnold gets injured and like Helga takes off a bow and ties it around his arm. It's like,
if we don't get that in the movie, there's going to be an uproar on the internet.
That's pretty. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if that was part of his original
Definitely.
thing or not. I don't know. It was that'd be interesting to see if he does that.
It would be nice to see that in a film.
That's pretty hard. That's pretty hardcore actually. Because the last time I probably saw something like that was I used to watch very violent wrestling matches. And there was this one really violent one where a wrestler called Sabu was wrestling Terry Funk in a wrestling ring that was made out of razor wire. And,
Oh God, yeah.
And he tore open his bicep. And what he did was he asked his, obviously it's a stage show, so he asked the guy who was like at the ring beside him. He said, "Run to the back, go get some tape, and I'll tape it back up while he's wrestling." And so if you watch it, you just see him grab a roll. He grabs a roll of tape. He grabs a roll of tape, and his bicep is like sliced open. It's like he's like got like a massive scar going over his bicep, and so he just takes the tape, tapes it all back up again, and just continues the match. And it's the insane thing. So. If Arnold gets that badly injured and like he ends up,
I don't think he's going to be that.
Oh no! Gosh.
It's going to be a gory film.
No, they won't show it. Obviously not. It's they won't show the gore or anything like that. Obviously, but they'll. Oh, here we go. Here's the one
it would be really great if he put that in there because he does pay attention to what the fans like.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Here's the scene everyone wants to see.
Oh, I love that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think we're all. This is an endurance test for you, isn't it? Yeah, I think.
I'm being harassed by Aaron Mehta.
You volunteered for this. That's not harassment.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, that's Jebby posts up a load of other stuff as well, so it's not the first time. And yeah, that's all really cool. And so yeah, Moni, Jebby, they're on Tumblr. Go check them out, and we all love them. And yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other guys out there as well, and hopefully maybe we might bump into them here a little bit. So this is Operation Ruthless on Twitter. And thanks.
There they are. I love them.
Yeah. And thank Kyle Vance for coming on the show. I do really appreciate it. So it's really cool. There's that what we saw again from there. That's the other one from before, and we've seen that one. And I forgot to mention this. Jake Clark, check him out on his My Nickelodeon drawings. He does like YouTube stuff on his page. I'm trying to remember which one it is now. I'm sure I'll be able to get it.
Here are my 5.
There we go. Yeah, My Nickelodeon Collection. So he's based there. Subscribe to him, and he does like all Nick trivia and My Nickelodeon drawings and all other stuff. And he also unboxes videos and things like that. And so yeah, definitely check him out. And he's on the hunt for his. He's actually got all the Rugrats VHS tapes, and he only needs one more. So he's that hardcore. So yeah. Pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, so definitely check him out in My Nickelodeon Collection. He's doing some really good stuff. So this is from Craig. This is the Arnold Escapes from Church. And this is the bit where he's obviously in church, and he has all those dreams in his and all those things that he can see as well. So that's
I love
cool.
his little suit.
Yeah, I do as well. And yeah, it's quite it's amazing. Like, I bet he wasn't expecting any of this, in that
Probably.
time. No.
I like how they kind of gave a shout out to his little suit in Arnold's Thanksgiving. It wasn't exactly the same, but it looked similar.
Yeah, it did. And it'd be interesting to see if he. Oh, it would be funny if I don't know if they're going to do this or not, but I actually asked him if they were going to make a Jungle Movie video game.
Ooh.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember when I got the first movie's video game for my Game Boy.
Oh, yeah, I was still going to do a Let's Play of that, actually. I've done like a live stream where I've played it on the Game Boy player, and let me say this: when you play some people say that I suck at Game Boy Advance games. When you play them on the Game Boy player, it's a whole different kennel of fish, because you're playing with a stick and the buttons and everything like that. And so I'm still trying to get used to that at the moment. So I can play Game Boy Advance games far better with the SP rather than the Game Boy player. But, Oh, this is the return of Brainy.
I love Brainy.
Yeah. I'm okay. And I promise everybody, I'll try and during the show, next week I'll try and get him to do Brainy's voice for you.
Please.
So,
Yes, please.
Won't be the first and won't be the last, so
Hi.
No doubt we'll
Hi.
Yeah, oh, this is
Oh look, Brady.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Okay, shall we?
Y'all are too much.
Let's react to a video. Let's play this one.
Oh my god.
Helga, please.
How many times can you be punched in the face?
Can I still sock Brady? No, don't sock Brady. That's
No.
why you're here in the first place.
Yeah. I was gonna say, there's some people have been asking if Dr. Bliss is gonna be in the Jungle movie. Like,
Oh, that'd be nice. I love the
that'd
idea
be
that Helga
great.
continues Dr. Bliss even after after Helga on the couch.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's obviously. I mean, keep in mind her home life is a mess. So it's like she needs that. I mean, Arnold's okay, but then she needs that obviously that person to talk to, and it's open up with, because you can't open up to Arnold because obviously for obvious reasons. But I mean, here's the thing though. It's like because Dr. Bliss now it was going to be a pretty big thing from my understanding in the Patakis as well. So. It's
That makes sense.
That would have been interesting to see how far that would have gone if they ever went like that. And so I think this is one of the images we didn't get to see. I think from I don't think this one's not very high res, so I don't think we can actually see the. But this is the journal, and I have to say it seems to be done pretty well in detail, and I mean, you would expect that because Craig Bartlett's running this, and so. It's expected. So it's funny though reading the. You actually up the res on the on the page. You can actually see what he's written on there, and it's like he's written towards the bottom. It's like he said that apparently Stella's had head went 360 degrees or something like that, and while she was pregnant, and it's total BS. What he's written in this page, but and then he says at the bottom, it's like, I'm going to have a baby. I hope he's going to be a he, so I can call him Arnold, and he'll have his own TV show one day. And that's what he's written towards the bottom.
Break that fourth wall.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you, breaking the fourth wall. I remember when Craig announced that he was going to be in the Jungle movie, and they showed an image of him back in November.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is
Aaron.
Does anyone remember when? Does anyone remember the episode? Sorry, do anyone remember the Nostalgia Critic film To Boldly Flee? And he actually gets to meet himself.
I didn't really watch it.
No, but if you do, there's a scene in there where Doug Walker actually gets to meet the Nostalgia Critic. And so they're actually in the same room, and I thought, wait a minute. Craig Bartlett says he's going to be in Hey Arnold. is there going to be some kind of craziness with the Lakara zone where he gets transported to Craig Bartlett somehow? And like they're both gonna have this conversation. It's like that's gonna weird me out if that's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be like, what?
Did you see the production art he posted on Instagram of the plane landing in San Lorenzo?
Yes.
He was getting off the plane.
Yeah.
And you know
Olga's going to be going too.
And Olga's going to be going, yeah.
Yep.
That is not something I was expecting, but I can see why she'd want to go as a chaperone to protect her baby sister.
Yeah, I was expecting her to go.
That's going to drive Olga crazy, but...
Keep this in mind. I mean, she's the one who's well-travelled. She's the one who's sort of kind of handled herself. And so it wouldn't surprise me at all when they said, Olga was going to go. And
watch Helga try to get her eaten by a crocodile.
I got to leave her. Bye, sis.
It'll be interesting. It's like, are they going to play... Interesting to see how the sister relationship evolves in the Jungle movie. And, maybe they might put some screen time towards, Helga and Olga, maybe. It's like,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
That was the last thing I was expecting, so this movie is really keeping me on my toes.
Yeah. Maybe Olga discovers the locket.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
You just changed the entire game.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I will be imagining that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Imagine it all night now.
So I'm one of those people who like just sees two things and things like tries to put them together somehow. It's like, so that's how I ended up with Craig Bartlett potentially meeting Hey Arnold, and then you see Olga and Olga's like, wait a minute. It's like, so there's that. I don't know. Arnold and homie Gerald looking so fresh. Okay. They look fresh.
Oh. Where did his legs go? They're so skinny.
Actually, that's a good point. What?
The sticks.
His head's kind of turned around a bit too much. It's almost like The Exorcist. It's like, yeah,
please, Gerald.
Can you turn your head round that much? I don't know.
Please. I can't do that. I can't do that comfortably.
I don't know. I'm wearing a headset, so I can't really do that much.
Nope, that hurts.
See what else is here. Young girls, this is over classmate with weird safe head. Oh, this is Badly TV shows explained. So this is a tweet. So running around with her.
TV shows badly.
Classic, isn't it? Yeah, that's a pretty bad way to explain a TV show, I must say. Oh yeah, this was Abner.
Abner.
Yeah.
Oh
Abner's game face.
He goes to San Lorenzo, doesn't he?
Yeah, Abner goes to San Lorenzo. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
why wouldn't
does.
he? I think there's something to Abner. I think and that's somehow that kind of connects Arnold to the Green-Eyed People somehow.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know.
he's missing
Yeah.
out or something.
Yeah.
Did we ever learn Abner's origins?
He was given as a present by the Green-Eyed People to Miles and Stella as a wedding present.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
in the
that was in
journal.
there.
Darn, I can't believe I didn't know that. I'm such a fake fan.
Yeah, it looks like he's put on weight as well.
Well, he's a
Yeah,
couple
he's looking chunky.
Yeah.
he's a couple of years older, so you can't blame him in that regard.
And he's a
But,
pig, so I mean
yeah.
he's allowed to be fat.
So Craig said to all of us, this is Abner's game face. So I say I might zoom in just a bit more, just so everyone
Maybe
can
he
see
saves the day.
See the game face. Yeah. I tell you what, actually, I was making everybody laugh at one point because I played a prank on my co-host to say that I was going to be in the UK version of the Jungle movie, and I had to believe in that for a good couple of minutes. And
Oh my gosh.
and she knew I was. I think she knew I was talking BS when I said to her, "Oh well, in my role of the Jungle movie, I'm going to push La Sombra into the volcano and save the day." And I think she, and I kept that going for 5 minutes.
You know, if Abner's the one who kills La Sombra, that'd be just fine.
Yeah, maybe that's on a king.
That
runs past him or something.
Pushes him off the cliff.
Yes.
He'd have to. I don't know. It's like imagine if.
Take him out at the knees.
Yeah, I imagine something. I don't know, like something like that happened. Like I'd expect like something like sound like I don't know Arnold Schwarzenegger and say I don't know some kind of catchphrase and then knock him into the volcano or something like that. That'd be pretty crazy. It's like I have the chops. Yeah. That was my joke. So Craig to say that he's like, yeah, he's got his game face, but does he have the chops? So
Right.
Oh gosh.
yeah, my jokes are terrible.
Just deliver the cheesiest line and shove him into a volcano. It's hot in San Lorenzo.
Anyone want this shirt?
Oh, I do.
It's from
Yes, I need it in my life.
It's on Redbubble at the moment, so there you go. And this is somebody. This is kind of cool. This is somebody's front page for the laptop. So it's Windows 10. I think I know there's a way you can do that, and I'm not really fully, I can do that if I have some time to look at it. But
that looks like their lock screen.
Yeah, it's their lock screen, and so and this is the.
That's not hard.
This is what you were talking about. I don't think this is going to be high res, but I know I've moved past it. And
well, we lost.
We've lost control of the show, and
it's gone.
Oh, here we go. It's there again. So there's that one, and
you can see him.
Oh, here's something fun for the news reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know who plays her? Annie McAfee.
I knew it.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Because I saw her commenting. I saw her comments on that picture. She's like, "That looks just like me without the bangs, winky face."
And I said to her,
Oh, I get it now.
I said to her, it sounds just like you as well.
Right.
That's so cool.
Yeah. But there's also, on the plane, there's also the woman who appears in, like, Downtown as Fruits on the bus, and, like, all the other people. She's made, like, tons of appearances as well, so she's back.
I love Mr. Simmons there in his festive straw hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Miko Hard's House one we've missed out. I've noticed.
Oh.
So this is them saying that.
It's on paper.
Yeah, and she says that. So basically, it's Arnold just constantly talking about Helga. It's like, and then Jill just says, "Man, if I didn't know any better, I would say you're in love with the girl." And then I think I'm trying to think how you get the. How do you change the?
Ouch.
How do you change the pictures after that? And then he basically goes, "What?" And then he says, "I mean, you've not stopped talking non-stop about her when we're going around, and you've been acting funny around her for a while now." And basically says, "Oh, come on, Jill, that's crazy. I just think she's cool. I mean, it's not like I lay around awake at night thinking about her."
Oh yeah, then he lays around thinking about her.
Yeah, that's the next panel.
Arnold, please.
Yeah, I can't change the panels on here because it's not. I'll tell you what, actually, is that a link to the actual thing, or is that no? It's just back to Miko House. Could actually find it actually. Stop being so lazy. Where is it? It's oh, that's beautiful, by the way. We're giving Miko far too much credit. Oh, she did all the credit for all of this. That's pretty cool.
When she was drawing this, you see that group shot in the very back with the whole class?
Oh, that one. This one?
No, in the picture you just had, in the photo reel, there was a picture of the whole class back there.
Yeah.
When she was drawing that, she put in Mr. Simmons basically having a heart attack for me.
What, behind there?
Yeah, he's just in the back screaming. Poor guy.
Cool. Yeah. This is this looks great. It's like this is taking ages to do. Yeah, wow. Unbelievable.
I like the one with Helga and Stella. I think I've seen that comic. Oh.
I'm gonna punch him when I get back.
They're both ready to punch.
Yeah, they can punch this umbrella together.
Well, how about I tackle him for you? You can do it onto his face. Again, I'd love to see. I'd love to see how they got.
I hope they ever seem like that in the film. Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. Tell you what, Arnold was pretty messed up in this game.
Yeah. Oh God, these.
Oh, bless him.
Got banged up.
What a scrap that he's been in, and yeah, I still can't find that. I'm sure it was done a while back ago, but wherever it is, it's somewhere in Miko our house.
Excuse me.
Anyway, we've seen a lot of her anyway, so yeah, I'm sure someone will be able to find it.
Oh.
This is the
Eugene falling off the boat.
Eugene fell off the boat.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I'm okay. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Watch your the crocodile and don't forget to scream.
How Eugene goes. A crocodile.
Good grief. That's
wow.
Making girls swoon since '96. So yeah, and what was it? And yeah, this is This is the whole lot of
Look at all of them.
Yeah.
There's my boy.
I've actually got that as my my cover page at the moment on my Facebook page. So that's there
my
at the
desktop background.
I
No
need to
joke.
make that my desktop. What am I doing?
This was the
I
announcement
need to do
that.
as well.
This was the
Yeah,
announcement.
guys, it's over behind. Go on.
Oh, by the way, I urge everybody. She's put that as a page as well. That's pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah. Everyone visit Manny McAfee at Annie McAfee VO, and she does all voice acting stuff and everything. So yeah, definitely check her out and keep an eye on what she's doing. So it's really cool. And that's that. Oh, here's an interesting debate for all of us. What is the worst episode? Arnold Betrays Iggy currently has the most of them.
I did not like Bag of Money.
Oh no, I don't like
Oh
it.
yeah.
Bag of Money it was really forgettable to me.
Yeah. I think Sid basically went through his Alex Jones moment, I think, where he was just, constantly paranoid that Arnold had stolen the money and stuff. It's like, you stole
There are
the
just
money,
so
you
few
stole the
episodes
money.
that I don't like.
And you're turning the frogs gay.
Sure I am. Found me out.
Okay. So, I mean, there isn't one is second. Phoebe's Little Problem is third. Bag of Money is fourth, and Girl Trouble is sixth.
Oh, I love Phoebe's Little Problem. Come on.
Yeah, I don't mind that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Especially
also,
when
it was
Mr. Simmons was delivering that big heartfelt speech and he screwed it up by saying fart.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, I loved Stinky's poem as well.
But to be fair, it's like, it wasn't real. I mean, in the context of Nickelodeon, Phoebe farting into a microphone is not a big deal. It's sort of kind of like, I'm trying to think of the best way of describing it. The kind of coming of age of a Hey Arnold character.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a big deal for someone like Phoebe because she's got a really a great public image. And also she's got anxiety.
Yeah. So, I mean, tell you what, I'm going to click one of them. What am I going to click? Arnold Betrays Iggy, Phoebe's Little Problem, Bag of Money, or Girl Trouble?
I'd click Bag of Money.
I'm clicking Bag of Money. Anyone else think I should click Bag of Money?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bag
Bag of
of Money,
Money,
definitely.
Bag of Money. Okay, we're clicking it. I would have clicked Arnold Betrays Iggy, but because I know that I agree with quite a lot of the analysis that episode gets. It's pretty bad.
Oscar.
Shall we react to a video?
Yeah.
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 Kitty, do you want to pet the kitty?
Oh,
Yes,
awesome.
I want to pet the
Eternal
kitty.
classic.
Pet. Look, everybody, I'm petting the kitty.
That's very good reading, Oscar. Now, Jamie, would you like to pick a book to read?
But I want to read more.
I want to read the big toy book.
Give it to me.
No, mine.
I want to read. Give it back.
No fighting, children. We have to share.
My goodness. It's like,
I never get tired of that.
Yeah, it's just...
Rest in peace, Steve Vixton.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's, I tell you what, I really hope they give a tribute to him in the Jungle movie. And put him
in the credits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really eager to hear how Wally Wingert does with Oscar's voice.
Yeah, I think,
yeah.
well, keep this in mind. I mean, there are some voices in Hey Arnold which are pretty imitatable. And also keep this in mind, Steve Vixton, in regards to doing the Oscar's voice, wasn't the originator of it. He said it was, Kabachubo. Because he was Hungarian, they used to mimic his voice. And so a lot of people, in that case, a lot of people could do Oscar. So, I mean, obviously Steve Vixton did him the best, and I think no one could probably replace him. From all the great work that he did. He was writing all the episodes of the show as well, which I thought most of the episodes of the show, and I just think hopefully there's someone out there who can definitely fill the shoes. And also I say this as well. Do you know the most sacred character, at least in all of our childhoods, has to be Kermit the Frog. And let me say this: Jim Henson played Kermit the Frog, and if Jim Henson can be replaced, and other people can come in and do as good of a job, for me, Jim Henson will always be Kermit the Frog. But I won't deny anyone else the ability to kind of like step in and be able to be that character. So if he's not if Kermit the Frog's not sacred enough to be replaced, then I would say Oscar's kind of in that same boat. And, some people will disagree with me. This is a badge for Move It Football Head. And no doubt there's actually been hundreds of badges actually throughout the years for Hey Arnold. And this is one of them. And no doubt there'll be far more after that. Carl Vance asks, who's put the onions in here? And this is the...
Aww. Love Parents' Day.
Mm-hmm.
Parents' Day is another episode that hurts.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yes.
And mind you, Craig Bartlett says, eyes on the prize. It's like, and so... And we definitely want to get that
The best part of
prize.
Parents' Day, though, was when Helga sold out her dad's weak ankles because he called her the love of her life an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think? It's in the wedding fan art that we see where Helga's like walking down the aisle and stuff like that. No Big Pop Pataki walking her down the aisle, and I think that's rather sad. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, because I always thought, when the Patakis happen, and Craig says that apparently they have a better relationship after that. And, it'd actually be a really emotional story for, because if Arnold and Helga get married, Big Bob Pataki's going to have to give her away. And how emotional is that going to be for him? Because he's had this very short, probably, relationship with her in a way. And he's not really got to know her the way that he probably would like to, when he's seen the error of his ways. So it's probably going to be very emotional for him to, when the priest goes up to him and says, who gives away this woman? It's like, and then that happens. It's like it's probably gonna be floods of tears from the looks of it. Probably that whole macho thing's just gonna go flying down. It's like, my God, special. I'm really sorry. I feel really bad making you cry.
I cry very easily. It's fine.
You're gonna be
hit by a train of wheels.
Yeah,
I'm very emotional all the time.
I wanted this to be fun.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And I'd be interested to see what this dream sequence is. I mean, it's like, is it going to be where Arnold's flying and then he crashes the plane and then something happens out of that? It's like it's going to be, that's going to be interesting. See which direction this goes in.
Yeah, when I saw that, I screamed. I was like, oh my gosh.
How many times y'all think he's actually going to cry in the movie, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Arnold, you okay?
Me when I get up in the morning.
Yeah. Monday feelings.
Yes.
This is an outtake that they had, and it's quite fun actually now, because I remember when Craig used to get these back, from back in the day, and you couldn't reanimate stuff, right off the get go. You had to work with what you had, and then they had to fix it all basically in post. And so now that they're at the ability where basically they can turn around and say, "Look, this ain't right," it's like you're gonna fix it.
Right.
Yeah. Hashtag I woke up like this.
When did I post this? August 25th. Craig Butler still has more ideas for Hey Arnold. What do you think of a possible sixth season? I think this was the video actually I put up. I think.
Ooh.
Is it there? I do not know. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so.
I love his little bow tie.
Okay, shall we react to this video?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Go for it.
Working on 81 through 100, and they just told me, because I always would ask. I was always looking ahead and trying to see what was, ahead for all of those employees. There were like 50 of us, and we were kind of looking after what everyone was going to be doing next. And they said, no, we're not going to do a sixth season. Mm-hmm. So then it really was like, we're going to kind of slim down to a development-sized crew and just work on the movie and develop the movie. So that's I knew that then. I did have, to answer your question, if there were plans for a sixth season, I had more stories. We had a little hopper of stories that we were going to get to. So
really?
If there was a sixth season, we would have just kept writing.
Yeah. Just out of interest, could you share any episodes with us, or are you just keeping it quiet just for the meantime?
I remember, I'd have to go look. It's been a long time since I've looked at those, but there were several that I wanted to do. I wanted to do a Brainy one that just basically concentrated the episode on Brainy, and I wanted to do, there's a Gerald's Bad Haircut story that I always wanted to do. And we also had...
That's actually, interestingly enough, that's actually based on a comic that was done for Simpsons Illustrated. So that story does exist in comic book form, and he wants to do an episode of it if he does do season 6. So,
oh, that'd be so cool. Poor Gerald.
He might actually tell... Here's the great thing, and if he does it, he might tell us the origin story of his new haircut.
Oh yeah.
God, yeah. That'd be cool.
That would work perfectly.
1, 2, together. There we go.
Had a couple of cool urban legends that we didn't get to.
Oh, cool. Well, you never know. You never know. I might one day be
yeah,
pulling
that's
them out.
right. Absolutely. I think, I feel very, I feel very good about the possibility of more stuff. So I'm not going to worry about it.
What is everyone thinking? More urban legends and more, more stories. I think that'd be really cool to.
I'll have to shoot you a message later on Facebook because I have a running file of my own episode ideas for season 6.
Yeah, and I don't think you'd like my. I don't think. Well, mind you, I've got this idea for a character at the moment, but I don't think you make a very good urban legend. I don't think. I came with this idea of, I don't know if anyone watched the last episode, but there was this Lord of the Rings game where you can kill hobbits by cleaving their skulls, and I came up with this comic book character called Skull Cleaver, who would just go around and cleave everyone's skulls.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a very good Hey Arnold character, I don't think.
No.
Be like
Too violent.
It should be a violent superhero. It's like he just goes around like no matter what the infraction of a criminal does, he just takes a giant 100-pound axe and just cleaves his skull.
Please.
Oh, so much fun. This is about an unavailable attachment. So unavailable attachment. So
yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
Victory. You're trying your best.
Here's Greg back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he's got something there, and this apparently was the development stuff for when they were going to start doing the Jungle movie.
Oh,
wow.
That is so cool.
The one thing I noticed is that she has Cecile in one of those images there on the left.
Oh.
And he actually did tell me that Arnold wouldn't find out about Cecile in the Jungle movie. So, it's I don't know. That'll be interesting to see. We've always said that before, but it'll be interesting to see what we do there. So, this is from Beaned, and so, what do you do that for? You see, I hurt someone every time I hit a ball. Well, stop it.
Is Grandpa actually my mom?
Wise words.
That's my mom's advice.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it.
Every time I hit my head on something, she's like, "Did it hurt? Yeah. Well, don't do it again."
Now, this is Gerald coming over to Arnold's house in the Jungle movie, so that's.
Oh, I love
Beautiful.
the colours of that.
I love how it glows. It's like it's like it's just shining off. It's like it's brilliant. Also, you notice that the buildings are taller as well.
They are. That building is way taller.
Yeah, I think it is a nod to after the movie, because if you notice that everything was getting was basically getting built bigger, but they left the neighborhood for obvious reasons because they saved it. But and you notice that everything else is kind of like being redeveloped around it. So maybe that's what we're gonna get when we finally see Hillwood for the first time.
Tiny Geralds.
Johnny Gerald's, and which one do I play with? I can't decide how much. So can't decide too much pressure. It's like just pick one. Yeah.
I had them all.
Ben Flores Jr. is doing a pretty great job as Gerald.
Hey Arnold was on TV at this particular point in 20th of August at 3:52 in the morning. So okay then, cool. And this is someone's drawing of Rhonda. This is Chantal. Hey, there you go. That was pretty cool.
Oh, you did a good job.
Yeah. I'm really interested to see Rhonda's story arc in this in the Jungle movie, because it sounds like she's got a pretty big one from the looks of it. And if they're going to go with this whole friendships will be tested narrative that they're going on with it, I think Rhonda and Nadine are going to have a fallout. I think so.
Oh no.
Well, you have to go somewhere for the drama, and if you have to up to the ante with it, you have to go places that aren't very comfortable. So.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm. I think there's going to be a lot of times where we're going to be like, oh, we're going there. It's like so. I think that's going to be pretty big. And so this is another one of my ones here on. Everyone seems to like my clips. Do you want to play this one as well and see what we think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eugene was so fun. Eugene was at the very end. We recorded 5 seasons of shows that were 20 half hours each, and they'd be really 40 stories, or a little bit less, because some of those would be half-hour specials. But so by the time we got to Eugene, we were at the end of almost 200 stories, and we were just going to make Arnold Saves the Neighborhood next, and that was going to be treated like episode 97 or 98, 99, and 100. That was you know what I mean? Like the last 3 half hours of the order, they're like, let's make a TV movie. So in our mind, we wrapped up the regular episodes with Kimberly Loves Arnold and Eugene, and that's how they appeared together in the half hour. And both those shows were really important to me. I wanted Kimberly Loves Arnold to be the end of Arnold's infatuation with Lila. You know what I mean? When she tells him off at the end of that one, he's like done. You know what I mean? He's like, okay, I get it. You're really complicated and kind of a twit, and I'm not gonna waste any more time trying to get you to like me. And
now, to be fair, he has said worse things about Lila than call her a twit. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Arnold.
And so that was that one, and then Eugene was meant to be like a big blowout. Let's write a musical. It's so much fun. All the ones that were musicals, I kind of think of Downtown as Fruits. Even though you don't get a lot of that musical, you get a little taste of them putting on a sing and dance and kind of, play. And then, of course, the opera. And then Eugene. Those were always so fun. I knew it would be fun to record. I knew that, we'd have a lot of laughs. And Lang, of course, he's so great. That was a really fun writing collaboration because I wrote it with Michelle Lamoureux, and she and I just split it up. I said, I forget, I'll take the front half and you take the back half, something like that. And we both just went to work writing the lyrics to those songs. And when you look at them, think of it, Michelle kind of wrote most of the back half of the songs, and I kind of wrote the front half of the songs, because that's how it plays. And if you look at it, they really feel like the same person wrote them. The rhymes really remind me of each. And then when Lang and Michelle and I sat down together and kind of punched it up and finished the writing of the songs, everybody kind of got it and loved everybody else's rhymes, and it just has a great musical collaboration. So anyway, we loved writing it. It was super fun to, I love old theater. I think all of our jokes that in cartoons come from vaudeville, and to me, doing a vaudeville-like musical comedy that has gags and Eugene falling into the piano and, juggling lemons and just all that silly stuff is all my favorite bits. And it comes from that whole tradition of vaudeville theater that then became like the Warner Brothers cartoons. Think of all those Warner cartoons that are, basically like putting on a musical comedy play. They just have that. All the physical comedy we got from that. Anyway, but I just wanted to do it so bad, and I wanted to. If I by then, believe it or not, when we were writing those, we knew we were done. They told us there wasn't going to be a 6th season. We were going to now concentrate on movies. And so, we have 100 episodes. We don't need. You know what I mean? We don't need more.
Okay.
And,
I'll tell you what. That kind of makes one of our other
wrapping up, and so. It was, it was super fun. It was super poignant. I felt like I could do whatever I wanted, and they would go with it. And just all that stuff came to us very easily by then. And it was easier to record the singing than even the opera, because the opera I hadn't done that before, and it was all new to me. And when we did Eugene, I was like, ready, set, go. Yeah. And the chorus at the end, I don't know, you can see if you look at the credits, like on the DVD where it doesn't get clobbered and you can see all the credits full screen. At the very last panel, it shows all the people who sang in the chorus. And it was me and the crew and all the actors and Joey Paul, our casting director. Just everybody was in that chorus, and it was so fun. I mean, the chorus. There's a lot of parts for the chorus, and the way we recorded it was big mics above us, and just all of us in a big crowd, and Lang standing in front of us singing. And he's pretty fun when he conducts. He kind of like he makes huge facial expressions when he conducts. So that's what I think of. I think of standing there with all the actors and everybody and singing. It's funny too. It's all very high. And Joe Purdy and I, it's like to sing those notes, it's like very high tenor stuff. And I was noticing that both Purdy and I were totally getting it. So we were kind of caught up in the moment, I think. But recording songs like that where everybody's singing, there's almost nothing more fun than that. It's super fun.
Mm-hmm. And this is another one of the clips. So if you want to check them all out, it's on my YouTube channel. And I keep them all in like a playlist. Hey everybody, it's Aaron. When you're not listening to me saying that. And so there's a Hey Arnold playlist here. You just click on play all, and you can just play all the clips. I try and update them as much as I can. And but if you're really going to be hardcore and you really want to listen to the all the Craig Bartlett interviews, if you find them on my website, it's aronmehta.co.uk. And if you notice, there's a link up here called Craig Bartlett's interviews, and you can listen to all of them here. And so there's the 20th one, the 19th one, the Christmas special, all the other ones that we've done over the years. And
Cool.
But I'll tell you the funny story about the first one. I mean, the first one, you probably won't believe, was actually done using a very cheap laptop, a second-hand mixer, and probably a $30 condenser microphone. So I was very surprised that I was able to pull off what I did. And as you can probably tell in the first one, I was like super nervous doing it because it's like, oh my god, I'm interviewing Craig Bartlett. He's like the guy who inspired me.
I would probably cry.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy at the time, and but one thing led to another, and then we did the second one, and the second one I felt I didn't want to just do a show where I just basically just asked Craig Bartlett whatever I wanted. I wanted to have like you guys participate as well, so that's the reason I always open up the floor to questions to open up an email box and ask people to kind of email questions in or tweet them at me and stuff like that. So. I wanted to get everyone else in, and because they asked way better questions than I did. It's like it's when you get everybody involved and get everyone to kind of like be kind of part of the production of the show. It is really cool, and because you get questions that you wouldn't even think about. And even now, I'm staring at some of the questions I'm going to be asking to Craig. And I just look at them all, and I think there's no way, probably like in a million years, I probably would have asked this question or that question or that question. So, you guys play a really massive role in like these Craig Bartlett interviews that I do, and for that
that's awesome.
I massively thank you for all the hard work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's keep moving on. This is probably Arnold just bashed into Helga probably like for the 9th millionth time, and.
Stop creeping up on me, you little creep!
14 years and you still can't watch where you're going?
Please! It would be hilarious if there was a call out to how much time has passed since the last episode.
Here's an interesting thing. What if Arnold is going to end up having a baby sibling in the Jungle movie?
Yo, that'd be a game changer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably would just add to the craziness because, like, if let's say, for example, the scenario is Arnold finds his parents and then finds out they has a younger sibling, and then they all go back to Hillwood, and then they have season 6. It's like that's just more crazy people to deal with. Like you got a kid who's never lived in the city before, and now has lived, as a member of the Green Eye people. There's another thing as well that some people haven't really kind of, I guess what people are a bit concerned about is that obviously Arnold's mom and dad might be pretty different from grandma and grandpa, and maybe that could play that off if they do like in season 6, maybe that could be a first episode where they where they realize that they're pretty different from and they have different values. Who knows? So
Miles and Stella adjusting to the city would be a pretty great first episode for the 6th season.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just and also it'd be interesting as well because maybe one of the arcs could be that if they don't tell us what happened, between Arnold, Miles and Stella leaving and them being found again. Maybe it could be like Miles writing his memoirs, and like he could be getting to like a really exciting bit in the a bit, and then he gets cut off for the episode arc to continue. That'd be a pretty cool thing to do. So let's have a look at anything else. There's a lot of reaction videos posted on YouTube, and that was the fun thing for me. All the reaction videos that were coming out.
Yeah.
I wish
I couldn't even tape
video.
I couldn't even tape my reaction because I was like, I watched it when Olivia Hack live streamed it from San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching that.
And this probably surprises no one, but I was actually crying.
Yeah. I've actually, someone posted me the animatic that starts at the beginning, before it gets to the actual thing, and I've yet to like convert that into a format which I can use. So I've got to do that at some point. And there's the thing I created. So yeah. No, and so that's when Craig Bartlett saw that, he said, "This is so boss." So and now
it is a really neat graphic.
Yeah, and because like everyone keeps asking, what does this torn up locket mean? And I think it means that it's like it's like it's you lose hope at one point, but then you never lose it, and then and in regards to like the torn up locket. My theory right now is that it's either going to be, Helga, doesn't get the answer that she wants from Arnold. She ends up tearing it up, and then Granny puts it back together and basically gives it back to her. Yeah. And then it goes on from there.
Oh.
Or basically it's going to be La Sombra finds the locket and kidnaps Helga and tears it up in front of her and says, "Oh, how I'm going to destroy Arnold," and stuff like that. I think that'd be pretty badass thing for him to do, I guess.
Yeah, that's my theory.
Yeah. Who knows at this stage? Well, imagine if this ever happened. And so, that's I could.
I think I'd be scarred for life.
That would be fun.
Poor Arnold. Yeah. What did I get myself into?
Yeah.
What's going on here? So Nickelodeon is sitting there teasing Hey Arnold fan of Alpha, and some of the VAs are saying cryptic things. Oh, I see. This is from 2015. This was from 2 years ago. And
I don't know who to believe anymore.
Yeah. I would say I on the Christmas special when actually I should have. This is the like this was it all going on, but then if you remember, if I find this video, just give me 1 second so I can go find it. Hey everybody, it's Arun from the Arun. Shut up.
Shut up, me.
In a world which Aaron meets Aaron, shut up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Indeed. Let me see if I can find this video. It's the maybe. Tell you what, maybe I might be able to. Arun Mehta. That'd be interesting. What video comes up when you type in Arun Mehta Craig Bartlett? I thought it would be the Christmas special one. Oh, here it is. So there was this one. So, I mean, I had a sort of inkling, like, long before all the 2015... I knew 2015 was going to be the year of yes and no, and obviously it was yes. But I also had an inkling about this before, and this was in 2014. This is what he told me. I was wondering if I could finish off with this last thing that, when I was talking to Justin Shankero, there was rumors flying around the internet about all sorts of discussions about Hey Arnold at Nickelodeon. I mean, is there any interest right now for Nickelodeon to reinvest in the Hey Arnold character in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, the things that we're trying to do are to find the right way to reboot the series so that it could keep going in some future form, and that's what we're working on. And it's going great, and I'll have more news, but I don't want to jinx it. I want to see exactly what it is that we're doing for sure before I talk about it. And I would say when I have a delivery date, when I know something's going to come out on the air, would be when I would be finally ready to go. This is what it is. And even then, I wouldn't want to wreck the story by spoiling it. So but I could, as I know more, I'll totally let you know.
Yeah, just out of visual. I mean, I know you can't go into too much detail about your conversations with Nickelodeon. Obviously, that's got to be all confidential and everything like that. But is it one of the when you're approaching a TV studio, is it one of those situations where everyone has kind of like their own different opinions of basically what the subject matter should be?
Yeah, and they're kind of, the thing you have to remember with Nickelodeon is they still, even though they acknowledge all this interest from the people who are too old for it, and you know what I mean, like they're really their bread and butter at Nickelodeon is kids 6 to 11. That's who their advertisers put ads up for, and so that's where their money comes from. So to them, they're like, well, what is that audience, 6 to 11, the people who are supposed to be watching this network, and what are they looking for? And so. That's an ongoing discussion, talking about the way kids change. In my opinion, kids, they change and they stay the same.
Yeah.
It's a different world by far now than it was when in 1995. But so what? Kids still like those shows, even if they're 15 years old. They're almost 20 years old, and they still love them. They still get it. So I think in a way, I just try to make entertainment that's pretty timeless. I think certain aspects of being a kid are going to stay the same forever, and making a show that's sort of emotional and, kind of slightly bluesy and, a little bit about being sad, and trying to kind of figure it out and trying to be a good person in a kind of a messed up world. I think that'll stay interesting forever. And so all I would say is that as we try to develop it and figure out how to take it to the next step, how can I keep it true to that basic bedrock feeling that I always had about what it was like to be a kid. So, I'll try to do my best to honor that, and also those episodes exist. There's a canon of 100 half hours. That exists. That's a fact, and so it can't ever be too different from that because that's what it is. That's the world that I made. So
yeah, and that's the world he made, and that's the world he's continuing. So it's incredible. Just noticed that, we've gone into, this is going to be a very big show, I've just realized, because we've actually gone into, we're going into our third hour, I think, at this moment, from the show.
Wow.
So I think we probably better call it here so this show doesn't get too long. But, so this was my big thank you to all the Hey Arnold fans, and, you guys deserve some appreciation for what you've done. And I really hope that, somewhere down the line, you guys continue, liking Hey Arnold and, being able to do, basically just continue being Hey Arnold fans and doing your artwork, doing your fan fiction, doing all your appreciation for Craig and, continuing bothering Nickelodeon to do this and do that. So, because you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome at doing that, and so I hope giving you these last couple of hours is hopefully done enough to say thank you to all of you, and not just thank you for all the stuff you do for Hey Arnold, but for the Arun Mehta show as well. Because I'll be honest with everybody, if I didn't do the Craig Ballard interview in 2011, I'm not too sure if I would have got to this point. To be honest with you, I'm not too sure if the Arun Mehta show would even have gone on YouTube or gone anywhere else. I think I probably would have maybe just decided to do something else. And it's only because Craig Butler said yes to it, and that the Hey Arnold fans wanted to hear it and wanted to see it, and that you guys did all this for me. And it's and as you can tell, I mean, I'm not. My voice isn't all that great. I have a communication disorder with, which is I have autism, dyslexia, and Asperger's syndrome. And the fact that you guys, sit here and, hear my voice and want to hear what I have to say about Hey Arnold and various other things, even at times when I'm not talking about Hey Arnold, you guys mean a lot to me. And
Get
a little teary-eye.
Wipes tears.
So, I mean...
Hey man, I'm autistic too. We got to stick together.
Yeah.
Right. I'm on the spectrum as well.
Yeah, and it's, I should tell you what, the Arun Mehta show at one point, all the people who worked on the show were 100% autistic, which is, probably for this country, is like 99% more than, other places that I've worked at. And so, we've done some amazing things. on this show, and you know, and autistic people are amazing people, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. So yeah, but you know, again, a huge thank you to everybody listening to the show and you guys here as well. So I want to go through the roll call. Stephen, thank you very much for being on the show.
No problem.
Spectrum Bunny, thank you very much for being on the show.
Sure thing, Aaron.
Matt, thanks very much for being on the show.
Cheers, thanks for having me.
And Jade, I will see you at MCM Comic Con. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yes, I can't wait to see you. Thank you for having me.
Hey. And that is it for the Fan Day. And so, everyone, thank you very much for tuning and listening in to us. If you want to find us, it's facebook.com/AronMeta Show. It's at Aaron Meta Show on Twitter, aaronmeta.tumblr.com, and youtube.com/AronMeta Show. I'm on Instagram as well, so it's instagram.com/Aaron Meta Show or at Aaron Meta Show. And also, if you want to find me, it's on podcast. It's iTunes, Player FM, Stitcher, and also on Podcast, various other places as well. TuneIn, iHeartRadio. We're in a very lot of places. So thank you very much for tuning into the show. You Hey Arnold fans are awesome. And everyone who listens to the Aaron Meta Show, you're all awesome too. Take care and goodbye for now.